bloody good, Phil Hurton. Oh, Harry Brosser gets dropped! The excitement is building, the crowd is here.
Oh, why not, mate?
Well, g'day footy fans and welcome to round 3 in the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 season. Today, it's the longest trip in the top tier as two of the newer clubs in the league meet in Division 1 for the very first time. The visitors already on the winners list in 2024, hoping to enjoy their long trip home with the premiership points. The hosts desperate to avoid a 0-3 start and the pressure that builds if you go winless in April. Bringing you this enticing encounter are Filming Footy sponsors: Archie's Footwear, Belgravia Apparel, New Balance, Nearmouth Mouthguards, Hahn Sportal, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Roll the Dice Racing, Farmers Leap Winery, Police Credit Union, Dartfish and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's the Bombers of Brighton hosting the Kookaburras of Golden Grove. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. Welcome back. We're atop the balcony of the Brighton Sports Club here, home of the Brighton Bombers, who today are hosting the Golden Grove Kookaburras, a round 3 Saturday occasion. My name's Phil Hurd and I'm with Adam Jeffries. And Adam, let's start with the Bombers. They're at home, but after a 0-2 start, they're probably the underdogs today.
Yeah, probably the underdogs, but they won't mind that. They'll be the underdogs a lot this year, Brighton, I think. For me, it's just about taking opportunities inside 50. Their inaccuracy has been hurting them a little bit. They look strong defensively so far this year, only conceding 10 goals each game they play, but they just need to find a way to kick 12 goals themselves. They just need to be accurate, and they can cause an upset today.
Because we're a little bit biased because we saw Golden Grove last week and they were pretty good. What impressed you most about the Kookaburras?
Oh, their scoring capabilities, Phil. I'll be interested to see how they defend the ground today, but their scoring capabilities will be hard for Brighton to contain, albeit I do think they have an out with their full forward not playing today, so I'm interested to see if somebody else can fill the shoes. But yeah, they're certainly capable of scoring, that's for sure.
And the conditions already in the hoodie for the first time this season. This is about as good as it gets to play. No sun, cool, but not much wind.
If you could ask for something as a player condition-wise, no sun in the eyes, no breeze, cool day, no problems for the players today, no excuses.
Looking forward to an enticing encounter. We'll give it to you all after the break.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
And welcome back. We're not in the Filming Footy broadcast van this week. We're high up in the Brighton Bombers balcony. We thank them for giving us the space and one of the best views in the Adelaide Footy League to bring this game to you between Brighton and Golden Grove. Phil Hurden, Adam Jeffries, and Adam, it's just a pleasantly cool day to watch some footy.
Perfect up here. We were here doing a game last year, filming with a threat of rain. I think we'll be okay today, though. It's just slightly overcast. Great day to play football and call football. Great spot. Looking forward to the match.
So Brighton and Golden Grove have not met in Div 1. Of course, everyone that Golden Grove plays, they haven't met in Div 1 until they do in the first 9 weeks. Let's have a look at Brighton, a little bit of their history coming into this, because two of the newer clubs, well, before we do, yes, I always do this, the ladder. You can see there, Golden Grove, 1 win, 1 loss, just sitting there in the middle. And it's a league that is split really into 3 separate areas. 4 unbeaten teams, or they were at the start of the round, now down to 2, and 3 teams still looking for win number 1.
Yeah, I think Golden Grove will be, if you look at Glenunga, Sacred Heart, Port Districts, Broadview, and Golden Grove want to be in that finals mix, don't they, with teams like Payneham Norwood for mine. So, yeah, to go 2-1, win a road game is going to be crucial for Golden Grove today. But Brighton will want to get off the bottom as well. Like I said, they've been better defensively. Can they kick a score, Phil, and cause an upset?
We'll talk about some of the other games shortly, but let's get into this one, the Bombers and the Kookaburras. And look, Brighton, they have a quite a storied history going back to 1885, the original Brighton Footy Club down south, merged with the Brighton High Old Scholars, which makes the battle against Sacred Heart all the more interesting. The Battle of Brighton Road there for the 2 schools. Officially, they're the Brighton Districts and Old Scholars Football Club, but we call them the Bombers. Southern Footy League, their home for ages, won some flags there. Started in Div 3. And they've been progressing, and this is their first serious stint in Div 1, and I think from memory it's their 3rd year. So they're making their way to be a powerhouse in the Adelaide Footy League.
Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 2017 won the Division 3 flag, 2018 were runners-up, went straight to Division 1 in 2019, Phil, and have just hung in since, haven't they? And they've been like a club, they haven't really threatened a premiership in Division 1, but they've hung in and done a good job.
We have a look at Brighton over their recent seasons, and I think we go back to, you mentioned promoted in Div 2 in 2018, and they've taken over Port Districts as the team in no man's land, 5th to 7th, did make the finals once. Always find a way to avoid the getting in relegation trouble. But really haven't been a contender as such.
They're going to have to work hard to get to those 7 wins this year, aren't they, Phil? You know, they've done 7 wins. 2020 season, if you remember back to that season, they started that year 5-0.
Yes, they did.
And they were up and about. And just, it was such a short season, you couldn't afford to have a little lull, could you? And got done in an elimination final. That was probably their chance to maybe have a deep run. But super consistent. And with the cattle at his disposal, Coach Brackwell's done a pretty good job, in my opinion.
Speaking of cattle, let's check out who's on the Bombers list today. No major changes from what they announced on Play HQ during the week, but 2 changes to the team that went down last week, in the end narrowly to Prince Alfred. Alexander Book and Tom Dermody out. Coming in, Jarman Segal, a player that always impresses when I see him, and Finlay Bennett also comes in for Brighton, but some fairly familiar names there for the Bombers faithful. Yeah,
a lot of names that have been on the team sheet for 3 or 4 years. Jarman Segal's an excitement machine, Phil. He'll be looking for a contender for Mark of the Day every time he plays. He's a high-flying player. He's played a little bit of SANFL footy as a top-up player, I believe, the last couple of seasons. Brighton will be pretty happy to have him. Real Rivers is a good return. Played down with my old mob at Pathway the last couple of years, but he's an experienced key position player, which they desperately need. Otis Carthy, for mine, Phil, is a very, very good Division 1 player. Goes under the radar because he hasn't played, AFL football or anything like that, but he's a very, very good Division 1 footballer, strong and tough in the contest. Player I'm looking forward to watching today is Jake Tarker. I haven't seen him play live. He's the type of player that Brighton desperately need more of. They brought him in the middle of last year and he had an immediate impact. Guy that can play midfield and can kick a bag forward of the ball. So I've been looking forward to watching Tarker go about his business today.
So that's how the Bombers are looking, zipping to start. They lost to Glenunga here in the home opener. Well, at the moment, Glenunga look to be the best team in the comp, pushed Prince Alfred to within 10 points. So they may be the 3rd best team in the competition. We'll find out as the season progresses. Golden Grove, we told their story a lot last week, 1995. Harper's Field and the story there with the two brothers that died within a day of each other, World War I in France. Kookaburras, 15 flags in 19 seasons across the men's. I think they raked up 3 last year. And that record, 62-7, is now, 63-8.
Yeah, tough times at Golden Grove the last few years for supporters. 60. I was, when you showed me that stat last week, Phil, I was blown away because as a former coach, you go through so many tough seasons, barren seasons. Going at 50-55% win rate is something that I would have been happy with. So that's about a 90% win-loss rate. But like I said, they'll do well to keep that going. They'll be in Division 1 for the next few years, won't they? I'll be interested to see how that win-loss column looks.
Well, it's interesting because their C's won comfortably. Their B's are 39 points up in the very late stages of that game, and they swept the table in the home last week. So they appear to have good depth. Let's have a look at how they got 62-7. Of course, it all went pear-shaped 2018 with relegated to Div 3, and that's where the charge began. Fourth in 2019, premiers when there was no promotion in 2020. Finally got to Div 2 in 2022. They went unbeaten, which is no mean feat. It happens very rarely in football comps like the Adelaide Footy League, where in theory it's even divisions. And then last year, 18-2, they were a step above. Actually surprised they lost 2 games.
Yeah, probably. I think they only lost to Payneham, who were a Division 1 club now as well. Bar a slip up in the prelim of 2021, they potentially could have had 4 premierships on the trot. But again, we've said this a fair bit. They've dominated the lower divisions. They're going to get tested more and more this season and next. They'll be around for a few years. They're going to get tested with their structures and their systems. Absolutely.
So let's have a look. As you can see, Golden Grove warming up in the rugby oval by the looks of it.
Great facilities here, Phil, for teams to have an oval behind to warm up on. The view that we've got, it's a great place to come now, Brighton.
Provided there's no rugby scheduled.
Yes.
When there's rugby, footy and lacrosse scheduled on the same time, that's when car parking becomes a bit of fun. And Golden Grove, of course, longest trip. We went out to Golden Grove last week. You've come out here this week. This is the closest ground to me. They would have been a good hour in the car, no doubt. Golden Grove lineup, they were pretty good last week, but Lachlan Pascoe is the name missing.
Yeah, it's a big out. That's because the full forward as a structural player, you just can't really replace them. So somebody else will have to step up and play that role. But I think Golden Grove are one team that can cover it. They do have some great key position depth, players that can play that role. Maybe Josh Glenn will play more inside 50 today rather than have his usual role on the ball. Be interesting to see what the coaching staff do. But yeah, like I said, they're pretty even across the board. Like I said, I'll be interested to see what they do around the ball today. Their pressure around the football at stoppages was one area they can work on. Because if they can force hack kicks, Phil, Cameron Shenton and their defenders, Templeton, they're going to clean it all up. So if they can provide pressure around the ball, make the job easier for their defenders, they will kick a winning score. They can kick 100 points every time they come, can't they? So in Division 1, you only really need to kick 80 points and you'll win. So yeah, it's going to be tough for Brighton to stop them today, but we'll see what happens.
Cam Shenton was our best on ground last week. Turned out he was also named best in the Play HQ. Not sure if the coaches took our lead or just we were spot on.
A lot of the
with
coaches
what the
asked my opinion, Phil. What's going on out there, Adam? Did you agree with that? Yeah.
I mean, when you walk in with the dartfish beanie, everyone else takes notice, don't they? Of course, it is a round played over 2 days. We had a pretty awesome day on Anzac Day. Out at Port District, and just the most massive crowd turned up. Unfortunately, Port District did struggle, and Glenunga showed they're going to be another formidable outlet. 2 results, I think both by 44 points, if memory serves me correct, because the other one was a Broadview getting over Prince Alfred College and getting their first win, and now they're underway. The other games that are on today, as we're still waiting for the B grade to finish, I don't think this game's going to start on time either, as the siren goes, thankfully to end the Bs. Earlier today, it was Golden Grove by a fair bit. I'll try my best to get a score for you for that, but in the Bs, it's Golden Grove 13-10, that's 88. They defeated the host 7-8-50, which by my maths, Adam, is a pretty impressive 38-point win on the road.
Yeah, Brighton's Bees have done better than the St Peter's Bees last week, though, Phil. Golden Grove's, I don't know if I saw some stat. Golden Grove's Bees went 3 or 4 seasons without losing a game in the lower divisions as well. So then I might have to pull up their win-loss ratio when we get the chance. But yeah, plenty of success at Golden Grove. It's great to have depth because in Division 1 you're going to have players go on holidays, you're going to have injuries, you're going to have unavailabilities. It's the clubs that can call on good players from their B grade that are the clubs that generally will play finals.
Yeah, just the 3 changes for Golden Grove. Dylan Wall is out injured. Lockie Pascoe's got a wrist injury. Steve Osborne is ill, I believe. So we've got Nick Preston coming in. He's a bit of a veteran back at the club. But 2 debutants, Declan Tomney and Kane Horskins. So that depth will be tested, Golden Grove, with the 3 changes as mentioned, 2 for Brighton, Segal and Bennett coming in for Book and Dermody. 2 other games on today, as you saw on your screen earlier. Tea Tree Gully, don't have to travel too far for this one, down North East Road to take on Payneham Norwood Union. Both teams have played a couple of similar games. Payneham the win over Golden Grove. Tea Tree Gully, narrow loss to Port District, and also round 1 we saw them against Sacred Heart. Were good for maybe 2 and a bit quarters. What's your take on the battle of the 2 northeastern clubs?
Yeah, for Payneham at home need to win. Tea Tree Gully, most impressive for mine. I've seen a real strong defensive game from Tea Tree Gully. I was a bit critical of some of their defence last year. I thought they were a little bit easy to score against, but the way they played last week at home against Port Districts and in round 1 against Sacred Heart, 2 top 3 teams probably feel Tea Tree Gully can maybe cause an upset. Payneham at home by 2 or 3 goals for mine. And who's the other game? We've got the old scholars going at it.
Spock and Shock.
Spock and Shock. Love saying that. St. Peter's were impressive, weren't they? If Sacred Heart's defensive skills are off, St. Peter's will put a score on the board at their home oval. But for mine, Sacred Heart are really good at locking a team down, play a bit more of a low-scoring battle. Sacred Heart might go there and win by 3 or 4 goals. Yeah,
I was just looking at St. Peter's. We'll look back at last week and look at all the behinds they kicked. They certainly had a share of the ball, and they certainly were. They gave Golden Grove a good run, but 7 goals by Golden Grove in the third put it beyond reach. So that's how Division 1 looks for today. We're just waiting for the Kookaburras to make their entrance. In theory, we're due to start in 2 minutes, but I very much doubt that's going to happen. We do have the umpiring crew making their way out at the moment. It is Dennis Chester and Paul Smitherin, or Dennis Chester and Paul Smitherin, Michael Polnitz and Wayne Steer, the boundary umpires this afternoon, and Jonathan Owen and Annette Greenshields will be looking after the goals today. Crowd, after Port District, any crowd's going to be a little bit light on. Probably don't expect the huge amount of Golden Grove fans to make the trip. Not when they can sit back at home and watch it on the stream.
No, well, wouldn't you sit back and watch the stream? We've been receiving some good feedback, haven't we? Feel that people have been enjoying the stream, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's a bit of a drive, but I said you should come to the ground and watch us on your iPad or your iPhone. That would be my bet. But there's always a buzz around here because there's lacrosse, there's rugby out the back. There's a bit going on here at Brighton always.
Yeah, one of those grounds, if you happen to come at the right time, you can park by the fence and just sit there and, I don't know, listen to the AFL or Sandford on the radio and watch some local footy. Not a bad way to do it. I even see a couple that have reversed in, got the back of the hatch up, and yeah, there's about 5 actually there's quite a few of those around the ground. Do want to mention our sponsors, Archie's Footwear and the Belgravia Apparel New Balance, Nearmouth Mouthguards. We've got the Hahn Sportal scoreboard looking spiffy this afternoon. Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic will give us the interchanges, what we can see of that. Roll the Dice Racing, the Player of the Year. Farmers Leap Winery always involve the Coach of the Week and the Coach of the Year. Police Credit Unit, well, they give us the boundary rider, but Lockie's got other engagements this afternoon. We look forward to seeing him next week. Dartfish, all the stats, and of course the replays, and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen, a great supporter and one the players always look out for post-game. Because we had the Anzac Day game, you got a bit lighter duties this week, Adam. We've still got a Dartfish beanie. We've still got some Archie's footwear for the best on ground, but we'll be just the one award winner today.
The after matches have been hectic, haven't they? And the pre-matches for the production crew. It's been a big couple of weeks. We weren't sure if Brighton were going to do something today, but I think Golden Grove did something last week. And part of me, you don't want to overdo the ceremonies either, because then they're not special as well, do you? So we did see a fantastic one on Thursday on the actual day of Anzacs.
Yes, it's almost... I understand why everybody does it, and it's all part of their remembrance almost becomes an Anzac week, so that they're never any less important to have. But to me, they'll always be more poignant in that 24 hours from Anzac Day Eve to sunset.
I thought Port Adelaide did a really good one last night, though, with the
Yes.
dim lights and the ceremony. That was really good to watch, wasn't it?
Yes, and therein lies your balance. What becomes a spectacle as opposed to commemoration. Otis Carthy and Cam Shenton in the middle. Cam Shenton. It's all coming up. Cam so far this season, he's won the toss. He'll be kicking to the southern end.
No real advantage, I don't think, with the coin toss today, Phil, with no sun, no wind. It's a bit like playing at the indoors at the Marvel Stadium, isn't it? The conditions pretty good.
The Bomber Dome. So what's your thoughts on this one in terms of, we said Golden Grove favourites on a sample size of 2?
Yeah, Brighton can cause an upset at home, right? Over the last few years, we've seen how consistent they've been. They've had the 7 wins each season, and in those wins, 2 or 3 times they cause an upset against a team above them when they shoot accurately. They're always, Coach Backwell always has his team well structured and set up to get the ball inside 50. And just sometimes with the talent he's had at his disposal up there, they haven't been able to kick a winning score, but he won't change the formula. And what he needs is a couple of his forwards to bob up and kick 3 or 4, or when they've got that ascendancy, getting repeat entries to kick 3 or 4 goals quickly to put some scoreboard pressure on the opposition. Pascoe's a big out, and I think it just maybe evens up this game a little bit. I can't see how Brighton would have been able to man up on him. It's a smaller oval here as well, from north to south, so you can get the ball deep inside 50 much quicker. It's probably 10-20 metre less in length, so those deep entries to the dangerous forwards are hard to defend. So I'm interested to see if Golden Grove don't go as lateral today, Phil, and go a little bit more long and direct.
Yeah. And I mean, yes, the 50-metre arc's almost maybe a couple of metres short of the centre square.
47-metre arc almost as well, to be honest. Yeah, I always thought here at Brighton there was just a couple of metres short. There's pretty short north to south.
Must be a thing down this part of the world, because I know the Glenelg Footy Club have something
It wouldn't look
similar.
right if the 50 arc intercepted the centre bounce, would it? Centre square.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, yeah, fair enough. I just got to be be wary of that for the outside 50 long goals that are actually onside on 50. So Golden Grove kicking to the right of your screen. They've had their huddle. Brighton having theirs. Where you have to send a memo to league management. 2:15 starts. We haven't had one. We haven't had one yet, have we?
You're hot on that this year, Phil, aren't you? But I think you're right. Back in the day, they'd always call the B grade short, but they don't anymore. They'll let those games run their course. So maybe it's the C's and B's taking off late.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a minute here, it's a minute there that that you never ever notice. That they're now up to
on-field warm-up here, though.
5 minutes. So, well, that's the other thing is that
They got to warm up out the back, so let's get the game up and running.
yeah, correct. I guess if they've done their warm up, they could almost run out and play, couldn't they? Except for maybe the shooting on goal, which they've got the rugby goals out the back. I mean, that'd be good enough. But feeding the coaches, okay. All right, not too far away from the start of this one. Thanks for joining us. Filming footy, we're doing a double up this weekend. Next weekend, we're heading off to Payneham. Going to see the Falcons for the first time, St. Peter's Old Collegians. That'll be from another balcony.
Quick shout out to Coach Backwell, who's already dropped the lolly snake.
Yeah,
And,
well, I'm not sure about the throw, Adam.
throw was a bit off, but Mouse reckons he's a pretty good move. He reckons he could still play.
Well,
Here we go.
certainly can play. The 36 out there, Golden Grove at Brighton. And it will be a Bombers clearance. The hand pass from Dixon to O'Loughlin. They're inside forward 50, and they've got a little bit of numbers. Shenton's a little bit surrounded here. Got to be careful. Did get a hand pass away to Venning. Venning, well, Otis Carthy is lurking. He's got a little bit of support. The kick towards the pocket overcooked it. And that's a poor opportunity there. Shane Harvey was in the vicinity, but the kick just a bit overcooked.
No real change to Golden Grove. They've got the small up at full forward, which is Cavallaro, I believe, and Josh Glenn started on the football, not forward.
So 2 defensive clearances turned over. 3 early inside 50s. I think it is O'Loughlin Johncock. He's missed. We have a score. Called a Sandford W game last night, and I'll tell you what, one team only did that 3 times, and that was the totality of their scoring. So, and sometimes in the close ones, even the points can matter. Right now, they've got to find the footy. It's disappeared out of the ground and down the street, if you don't mind. Hopefully not into that car that just stopped suddenly.
I nearly parked behind the goals, Phil. Glad I didn't.
No, I parked back by the rugby club. I learnt that lesson a long time ago. Yes, you think, oh, there's netting, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
No. And also with the trees as well. The trees catch it, they'll drop it straight on top. We have got the footy back. That's good because they are pretty expensive to lose.
So Brighton have to be careful where they set their zone up, Phil, because it's Johnston with the football, and no, it's not, but they can go long. They can go really long and almost get over to halfway.
Yeah, that is almost to the centre square, but their zone is pretty good.
If I'm Golden Grove, I'm not kicking it to Jarman Siegel's side. I'm
choosing
the opposite side.
I think that's the second one he's taken, actually.
He's one of the great interceptors in the competition.
So let's see how Brighton go. They've had a couple of cracks at the inside 50. That was a push. Yeah, umpire saw it. Will Rivers. The umpire's in grey today, which makes perfect sense given Golden Grove's mainly green jumper with the white shorts. Kick to the outer side and out of bounds off the hands of Jack Loy. It is 2 minutes into this contest. Brighton doing all the attacking. Golden Grove yet to go forward to centre.
Let's hope, so for the game's sake, I'd love to see Brighton get a score on the board for this early ascendancy, because we see the underdog teams do this, but if they can't put some scoreboard pressure on it, makes it a tough, long day.
I mean, I'm sure we have seen this before this season.
Yeah.
One team early getting a string of forward 50s and not particularly doing much with it.
It's Division 1 football, Phil. Like, we called a great game on Thursday, but there was very hard to even take a mark inside 50 in what was a good game. It's difficult to score. Defences are so good now in Division 1 football that they're set up so well because they know if you can't defend, you won't win. So it makes it hard to score from those repeat entries when there's a lot of numbers around.
Plenty of footy happening on the outer side. If you came in with the car, you've had a pretty good view of it all. And we'll have a stoppage on that set centre. Just Brighton's side of it. Just the one behind so far. Phil Hurd and Adam Jeffries, thanks to Filming Footy. We've got James and Elias on the camera and Hugo putting us to air and pushing all the buttons. So, third stoppage pretty much in that space, and there's going to be a fourth in a second as someone gives away a free. Umpire letting it go. Ball does come out. Kick smothered. Well done by the Kookaburras there. Ricochets out to Perry onto Otis Carthy. Inside 50, number 4, possibly, Adam?
Yes, correct.
At least 4. Spills out.
Crouchy umpire, yep.
Holding the ball.
As soon as they bend their knees, the umpires, you know it's coming and the players dread.
And they know it's the stream game.
Osborne, 5 years ago, probably could have put this through. He'll look for a short pass, I reckon.
Yeah. Well put up to the top of the square. Needs a flyer. Almost got it from Tarka. And for the moment, Golden Grove, they are, well, here, I reckon this is the 4th time their kick out has been marked and gone straight back in.
And this is why it is hard to score, Phil. Look, there's probably 17 Golden Grove players in the defensive 50. So what
but Brighton are playing this pretty skinny. They haven't really stretched it much.
Dixon believes he's got the journey almost.
From the edge of the centre square, just pops it up like a little chip shot. And that was a little too easy for Aidan Thatcher to take the mark. You would have expected maybe at least something contested. This is Tomney. Oh, we got a football near us in the Segal direction. This time does pretty well at ground level. Back to Murphy. They'll cross over.
It's a great switch kick.
Good kick. Always dangerous, but Higgins was there. He's overcooked Carthy. But Brighton are hanging in terms of the tackling.
Sometimes in a game of football, Phil, it's hard to see, but Brighton look like they've got 2 extra players out there, so good is their setup. The one thing they can't do is get that big mark or contest at the top of the goal square.
Well, you know why? Because they've got they've got 1 extra player in defence.
What Brighton are doing, though, they're holding 6, so it looks like they're going for a +1, but Golden Grove are sending forwards to the stoppage. Brighton are saying, no, you can go into the traffic. We'll get a +1 behind the ball. Now it's 1-on-1. If I'm Brighton, I would have left the +1 there.
Well, it was working beautifully for them so far. From the ruck tap, another inside 50. Here comes a hand pass, a snap to the top of the square, almost grabbed by Brighton. In the end, they're just going to tackle Shenton with a bit of strength, got the arms loose and got the hand pass out, or else that would have been trouble. Golden Grove at the moment are just clearing out of desperation without much structure. Might come off from here. Here's Louis Johnson. Look at that! The sublime soccer kick, the 1-2. First inside 50 for the Kookaburras. It's 3-1 Bombers, but it's a Kookaburras mark. And you've seen this plenty of times. One team, all the field position, no goals. First inside 50, it's a shot, and it's going to be with Mitchell Slater.
6 inside 50s to Brighton for 1 behind. Golden Grove's first even look in their forward half. They get a mark inside 50.
But how was that from Johnson? Little soccer tap.
He meant that.
Right on the...
Yeah.
Of course he did. Yeah, absolutely. Started left, and it's going to stay there. Not a lot of movement with the wind. If anything, it should be blowing off the coast towards the east, if there's any side breeze at all. Golden Grove won the toss, chose to kick to the southern end. No uphill, downhill. This is pretty flat here. Right, now with the kick looking for Dixon. One thing I've noticed early is that Brighton have some really good tools. Segal and Dixon already having an impact, but there's been a turnover and Golden Grove now to get the shot.
2 inside 50s, 2 marks. Bit of luck there, but that's what happens when you hat kick inside 50. Sometimes they land with you, sometimes they don't.
This is where I have to roll out the apology. I think it's it is Jet Barnwell. Not Barnwell, as I waxed on lyrically about last week. Apologies to the Barnwells. Let's see if Jed can make a name for himself. From 45, straight in front, has dobbed it. We've got our first score on the board. And it's on the Hans Sportal scoreboard. It is a straight 1-goal lead to Golden Grove. Always love it. These electronic scoreboards, the one point of the match where you want to look at the score, because it's just been a goal, they start flashing up fireworks. And again, pretty good sporting effort there by Brighton to do the fireworks for the goal when the visiting team kicks it.
Yeah, they might have to look at that. We saw that at Sacred Heart
We
too,
didn't
we?
we?
Fireworks for the opposition. But you can see where Golden Grove's strength. So they're strong in their back 6. They defended those inside 50s. They went from end to end so easily for that first inside 50. Got the repeat on the turnover goal.
Yeah. And their clearance from defensive 50, and that wasn't anything special. They just got a good player in position to get some run on. Here's Louis Johnson. He's playing juggler now. I think he was taken out. Umpire says no, he wasn't. The kick forward by Osborne puts it out in front of a couple of Bombers. Here's O'Loughlin Johncock, got a couple of early touches, but Thatcher's got him. It's in the centre square. Hot footy right now, and bit by bit, Golden Grove have progressed this a good 50, 60 metres without a possession. Here's one now, and it's Cam Shenton from the edge of the centre square. Could this go all the way? It does! An early highlight. Cam Shenton, the defender extraordinaire, has himself the second goal of the game. And that probably put your test of that arc maybe not being 50 metres. The kick inside the square, good for a goal.
Yeah, whether it was a 50-metre or 55-metre kick, it's just all class, isn't it, Phil? And that's just what Golden Grove can do. Dominated for 5 minutes and they've gone bang, bang. And it can break the hearts if you're a Brighton player because you know you're playing so well. The coaches have set up such a good structure, but you know, Lewis Johnson's class on the wing set up the entry before. Cameron Shenton's class, you know, guys that have played AFL football slotting at home.
Again, the tap to Brighton. Taka tackled straight away. He's going to get himself a free kick. Loose Bomber a little bit further on in Carthy. Puts a boot into the Sharon on this occasion. A couple of Golden Grove players went up together. No one could take the mark. Thought Brighton might have had a chance to crumb. They do now. Couple of hands. This is Dixon to Chalmers. The kick around the body has missed, not by much.
just need that goal, don't they, Phil, to keep their belief going through this game? Because they look like they can match it with Golden Grove in general play, don't they? Around the ball, they're strong with Tarka. Nigel Osborne's a big body player, is always going to win clearances. They've got Siegel behind the ball. Again, can some of their forwards take some half chances?
The last kick was a huge one. This one goes, well, outside. I'm going to say outside the arc, not outside 50 today. Carthy to Murphy. Just had a fumble at the inopportune moment. Through some hands, and now Golden Grove away. And you just give Golden Grove some space, and then you've got a trouble. And look at that. Again, Brighton have the numbers. This is Josh Glenn. He's got an open player in Kane Blades who's marked in the pocket. You give them a couple of metres.
Otis Carthy would have like to have that one back again. He's facing goal on the turnover. I reckon he just kicks the ball back in. He's gone for the extra handball, missed the target, and in the blink of an eye, it's back for a shot on goal from Golden Grove, although deep in the pocket. I thought Glenn might have gone from home there. He had an open goal square on his raking left foot. I thought he could have wheeled around and gone for goal, but did the unselfish thing.
So Blades has kicked 2 goals, 1 each game played so far in Division 1. Pretty much just inside the arc. Probably a 50-degree angle. Again, starts at left. It'll lob in the field of play and thumped over for another behind. It is Golden Grove 2-2-14. Brighton just the 2 behinds on the Hans Portal scoreboard. 12 minutes gone first quarter. So let's see how the Bombers go clearing it out of defence. They've got it to defensive 50. That's a good start. Now they're going to go across field.
Someone's lost a boot right in the middle of the oval near the umpire there as well. always good when the ball comes to you. You've got to kick it without your boot.
Well, I'll watch the play. Yeah, we'll look around and see if you can find who's bootless at the moment. It's not Higgins. As it's in the middle. Templeton with the pick-up. On to Pittman. Looking in the Johnson direction. Every player I'm looking at's got 2 boots. So I've got no idea. Maybe the umpire's lost one. Add in some space. Okay. Stoppage in play. Who's going back? It's a Golden Grove player going back for their boot. And it was Mitchell Slater, if you had him on your bingo card. Look at this. How much space? Schwert and Tumney. Here's where all the Brighton players are. Managed to force the contest on this occasion. Kick around the body looking for Segal. He got his body in the way of that. So Brighton trying to work it clear of numbers, which they'll do right now. They were partial smother, landed straight to Horskins on debut. Good kick to the hot spot. Slater with the mug. He's lost his boot again to Glenn. Boot strapper to centre half forward, please.
Josh Glenn doesn't miss too many of them, does he, on the left favoured side. Just hanging on here again, Brighton. They're getting some deep entries now, Golden Grove, and they're struggling to clear the football.
An interesting work there by the umpire to stand over the boot so nobody kicks it there. And Slater he's just running around. He'll go back and get it now while it's on centre wing. Brighton have got a couple in succession. They finally got a 1-on-1 inside 50. Rivers goes to ground. Here comes the cavalry for the Kookaburras. And pretty easily, Connor Dodd will clear. I shouldn't have said that. Goes straight to Carthy. He's got to get around. Kookaburra defender takes that out of bounds.
They might have been making an interchange last time. From the last stoppage on the other side of the ground, Brighton were missing a wing on this side. They're able to clear to uncontested players, but it looks like they've held their structure this time.
Well, boot update. Slater's got it back on. I reckon if it comes off for a 3rd time, he just needs to come off and get it attended to.
Just throw it.
Right now he's going to be busy because it's going straight for him. Trying to make the contest. Puts a bit of pressure on that kick up and under, and the pressure from Slater was enough to send it out of bounds. And someone's discovered the lolly jar. We have one of our cameraman, James, his son Oscar, comes out many times, brings a whole bunch of snakes, and they prove to be very popular through the afternoon. Golden Grove starting to get their inside 50s up, and now the other one's starting to waste a few possessions, but Glenn's marked.
Great use of the ball. We don't want to keep harping on it, but when Lewis Johnson touches the ball, something good happens, doesn't it, Phil? He took his time. He didn't bomb. Josh Glenn's playing on the ball, drifted into a hole, uncontested mark, and should slot this.
Yeah, well, if he's smart, he'll know just to go a little bit to the right-hand side, which he has done. Beautiful kick. Third goal for Golden Grove. Brighton are trying their best to match them, but you give the Kookaburras some space. Their skills are exquisite, and they've got a couple that can finish. It is the Kookaburras 3-3-21, the Bombers just the two behinds. 16 gone of the opening quarter. Filming Footy's match of the day.
So if you just tuned in, you see the score 3-3 to 2 behind, you'd probably go, oh, Golden Grove are all over them. But in fact, Brighton have had 9 inside 50s to 7. The difference in the game is Golden Grove have taken 4 marks from their 7 entries. Brighton are yet to take a mark inside 50. And now's a critical moment for them, Phil. This game's still a long way to go. Brighton just need to capitalise and get the next goal.
Well, I'm not sure if there is a wind to the south, but Golden Grove chose to go there. The other thing about, you mentioned, 7 inside 50s for Golden Grove. They've got 6 scoring shots, so that is superb efficiency. Generally doesn't last. Templeton's kick to the top of the square. Mark just not taken, but cleared momentarily. Schwert has it. He's tackled. And will be a stoppage in what I call the playground pocket here. So, Adam is a father of a young daughter. How do you rate the playground here at the Oval?
Oh, it's spectacular. Great facilities here. She's desperate to get down there again, Phil. We'll have to wait till half time.
Yeah, I would have loved to have one of those when I was doing home match promotions at Woodville at the Eagles. Nicely shaded. There's lots of kids enjoying that at the moment. The adults, well, they're all around here in the deck chairs. They're enjoying very pleasant afternoons to watch some Adelaide Footy League. The clearance is by Higgins. Chance for the Bombers to go forward. A bit of pace from Tarka, got away from Shenton. Kick to an open 50. Off hands. Now is it their chance. It's with Jack Plenty. Going right, going left, going to the pocket to an open bomber. And Jake Tarka is going to get a rare set shot for Brighton.
Was it Plenty that kicked the ball to Targa? Plenty's a guy that can use the football. He's a guy that will use short stab passes coming out of the back half, but good to see him get involved forward to centre there. And I think it was Sam Venning that made the contest against 2, which allowed that to happen. Tarka should slot this. He's a class player.
Well, the Bombers need it. Across the face. Some would say it was just a pass. I was just passing it, coach. And
Golden Grove defensive line coach will be disappointed at that because Will Rivers just had a clean run of the football. When you're a backline coach, you're teaching your player just to block that run before he can take it and hope to stand under the ball. Although it was a missed kick and he might not have been expecting it there, but that's a great clunk by Rivers. Must kick this one, Phil, for his team.
Distance should not be a problem. One of the veterans of the club knows this ground in and out. No real breeze to contend with. The odds are in his favour. And he has dobbed it, and Bomber Nation can take a breath because they have their first goal of the day, courtesy of Will Rivers. That is his 3rd this season. Just reduces the margin back to 2 straight goals as we're nearing time on.
Yeah, Will Rivers has been a great servant of the Brighton Bombers, been a junior that's come all the way through. Might have spent some of his junior career at Glenelg, but come back. He's a guy that can play either end. He can play centre-half forward, centre-half back. And later on in his career now, he's back as a full forward. And you can see he's still quite athletic. He can run and jump at the ball. Golden Grove will be a little bit disappointed. That looked a little bit easy for Rivers. There was no body check on in there. But Brighton deserved that. This is their 10th inside 50. They've had 2 more. They're well and truly in this game. Keep harping on it, Phil. They just need to keep capitalising through the day.
Yeah. Back in the middle. Tap to Brighton. I think that was Draper in the ruck. Maybe not. Yeah, it was Draper in the ruck.
Both clubs have their second rucks having a go at the moment.
Will be another Bombers clearance. Perry to Broadbent on the wing. Hand pass a little all right. Somehow got the kick out of that and a lot of traffic. It's inside 50. Very quickly picked up by Blades. Bouncing ball about 15 now. So someone can shepherd. Golden Grove are going to get a goal. Oh, they'll get a goal anyway. And that's Declan Tomney with his first goal of the day. And a quick reply from Golden Grove. Hans Portal scoreboard. They are 4-3-27. The Bombers 1-3-9. Margin back to 18 points.
That hurts Brighton, doesn't it? Like I said, they played good football, got the goal, and then they get a reply straight away. If I'm Coach Backwell, I'm disappointed that Golden Grove have a 3 on two in their favour at the top of the goal square. Somebody didn't hunt back like they should, perhaps a defender or a wingman, not sure who that was, but very unusual in modern Division 1 football to see the forwards outnumber the defenders in that position of the ground. I think it was Josh Glenn took two with him and tapped the ball into space, set that goal up. Big reply from Golden Grove.
Yeah, it was the clearance that set it up. So 5 goals in the first quarter into time on. Sunshine out now, which is great to see. Give that one to Horskins. Good tap onto Ingram. They're inside forward 50 now. I mean, how many inside, and the Ingram comes in and just flattens the Brighton defender, and probably
10 entries each, Phil.
And this is rare. 10 entries each.
Yep.
Curtis Perry recovered to take the kick. Here's Jack Plenty. We saw him doing good work at the forward inside 50. Clears long from the defensive to inside 50. Don't see that too often. I wonder even if the cell. Oh, Carthy ran through Pittman. Not totally sure where the ball was on that occasion. Schwert has it, and he has a free.
That's disappointing there. Brighton were really hunting there and just gave a little bit of a soft free kick, relieves the pressure for Golden Grove.
Harvey on the ground, was on the bench earlier. He's manning the mark at the moment. Well, was. Now he gets to cover. Player down the wing. Here comes the footy. Big pack right in front of us. Dixon. A couple of taps, handballs it. Harvey through traffic. And in the end, William Cheeseman Dutton, I thought had made the wrong choice by going back into a nest of kookaburras, but worked out all right. He's got the free, runs off the man on the mark. 40 out. A few flyers, who's at ground level? Well, whoever that poor bomber was who picked it up, Cam Shetton was ready and waiting to lay the tackle. It was Will Rivers.
Only a couple of minutes to go here, Phil. If Brighton can get a goal, it'd still be game on. They can't concede one the other way, though. Yeah. They've played better than 5-1 against.
That's right. I thought that was a bit of a play for the free. That shot didn't miss by a lot. Ricky O'Loughlin, John Cock was dangerous out forward.
Notice a different role for Lewis Johnson today, Phil. He's playing as a half forward. He's snuck as the deepest forward here. I think because the wings and the size of the oval maybe don't suit that lateral wingman. They want him involved in the game. So as a half forward, he can really roam and go wherever he wants, either side of the ground.
Yeah, Jack Chalmers has the duty on Johnston. Good luck, Jack. As Golden Grove have got it to the winger, this is where they're so dangerous, some open running space. Again, 2-1, but I bet you the Kookaburras will make a contest out of it. They do. And I think Harvey will be pretty happy to see that spill out of the boundary line because Kane Blades was in hot pursuit.
If you can see the size mismatch that Johnston has at the top of the square, that's why the other forwards have let him go. Johnston believes he's got 6 or 7 inches on his opponent if a ball can come in the air. Beautiful
work. Back to Slater, who started it.
It's a great tackle.
He's tackled and had opportunity holding the ball.
An important tackle there for Brighton, Phil, because if that ball went in deep, Johnston was licking his lips, but a great tackle.
Tomney was running into space at 45. It may not have gone to Johnson. It may have just set sail for another major. But yeah, that's a mismatch. I mean, who do you put on him? I guess is the question. Osborne tackled, dropped the ball.
Bit of a hot one there. Phil, for mine, might have let that go with the ball spilling out inadvertently. We've had an off-the-ball free kick here, Phil, which is a big play late in the quarter.
If Brighton
bit of scuffling up the line here. Brighton need to wait for their numbers to get back.
Osborne with a penetrating kick. Almost the run on to Venning. We've got a Kookaburra down.
What have we got here? Is it a Brighton free kick? I think it is.
It is. Well, the Brighton players get his.
Wow.
And that indiscretion may just cost Golden Grove on the scoreboard. Now this is Venny. What? He's surely he's not doing a Stevie J from that.
No, he'll take the set shot. It's a much travelled player, Sam Venning. I coached him at South Adelaide about 12 years ago. Phil, he's been up at Blackwood, played some football at Brighton. veteran player, needs to kick this for Brighton. They're a bit fortunate with that reversal free kick.
It's a 3-goal margin. Other stats pretty equal. And just fades to the right-hand side. And they've had their chances to be closer. Let's leave it at that. 1-4-10. The Bombers, Golden Grove 4-3-27, a 17-point margin. Although maybe Hugo's saying it's 5 behinds. Yeah, okay. Hugo versus the scoreboard. I think we've had one of these every week, and Hugo's been right. And Hugo's been right every single time. Now I know Hugo wants to give credit to the app he's got, but no, it's all Hugo's credit. 26 minutes gone. Siren's going to go at some point. 5-goal quarter. Golden Grove are just playing keepings off. It's with Josh Doby. He spots up looking for Schwerk. Good work by Venning to come in, create the contest, the throw in.
Good pressure by Brighton there. I'm surprised Golden Grove haven't gone a little bit quicker and longer. They've still tried to maintain the ball laterally on this shorter oval. And for mine, I'd be going a little bit longer at times.
Siren imminent. Someone's timer just went off, I think. A throw to get it out. Brighton will get one more chance. No, they won't. Well, maybe they will.
Can you have a look at a barrel here?
Jack Plenty is saying, I know how long this arc is. I know it's not 50. I'm going to back. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Oh, you're entitled to have a crack. Plenty's a long kick, but this will be a little bit too far.
From around about 50, he's launched into it. I reckon that might hit the behind post halfway up. So a bit straighter would have been very interesting. But no score. It is the visitors. Golden Grove 4-3-27, Brighton 1-4-10. Very quickly, the goal scorers for Brighton: Will Rivers, for Golden Grove, Josh Glenn, Declan Tomney, Cam Shenton, and Jed Banwell. Banwell. We're going to get it right today, promise. We're with Adam Jeffries, Phil Hurden, and the Filming Footy crew. We'll be back shortly. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
And Crone takes the lead in the Kilmore. Crone draws clean out from Mizzy. It's a Queensland victory. And a big payday for his owners, winning the English Millennium in a romp.
But Ayrton the class, and Ayrton won the Victoria Handicap.
But Mahuda goes all the way. Where again, Mahuda?
Taliqua, too classy for them. The Blue Star flashing, beats the ball. A Blue Star gets up the win.
But it's all Globe, 100 metres to go. It's 6 lengths in front. This is an outstanding performance again. And Globe eased down, won the King's Coronation Cup in a canter.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back to Brighton Oval. Sun's out, the kids are loving the playground, the barbecue, which is right below us. I've been to Brighton before, I know. Do not come here and start a broadcast without sampling the barbecue, because if you don't, it will drive you mad. I certainly recommend the egg and bacon sandwich. There's plenty of other specialties there as well. One of the joys of doing The Adelaide Footy League is checking out the great barbecues and food and drink setups around the city. Speaking of around the city, around the grounds, and 2 other games on, and it is a boil-over underway at Payneham. They're just about at quarter time, 28 minutes gone. Tea Tree Gully are 7-2-44. Payneham Norwood 1-2-8. In fact, Tea Tree Gully are going forward once again. I've got Brodie Latham in the pocket. He might just get an 8th goal in a sec. So that's a massive lead to Tea Tree Gully. I don't know what to say about the scoreboard. I guess I won't say much. The other game, so yeah, Tea Tree Gully. They finally got a lot of inside 50s and converted. The other game, pretty similar to ours actually. Sacred Heart 4-1-25, leading St Peter's 1-8, a 17-point margin. That is, by the way, that 44-8 for Tea Tree Gully is the quarter time score. Here it is Golden Grove 4-3-27. They lead the Brighton Bombers. Confirmed 1 goal for 10. At quarter time. So Adam, you had a chance to have a think. What did you make of that first quarter?
It's just Golden Grove are dominant, but the fact is that they're not. Brighton have had more inside 50s, 13-10, and they've probably won more clearances. They're even at centre bounce. They just can't convert. Again, we don't want to keep harping and talking about the same thing, but they just need to find a way to convert. You know, that late shot from Sam Venning is disappointing, and no player ever wants to miss, but the reality is Brighton need him to kick that goal just to get their confidence going. Hopefully he gets another opportunity to rectify that soon. It's doing well to win the ball inside 50, but they need to convert. So yeah, Brighton for mine, very well structured, very well organised, play this oval really, really well, and are right in this contest, but they need to have a 3 or 4 or 5 goal quarter with the dominance of inside 50s. Golden Grove for mine, again classy at half forward. Johnston, Glenn setting up easy shots on goal for their teammates. But their game style is interesting here, Phil. Like I said, it's a different oval. There's not as much space laterally and it's shorter. I'd be looking to just take territory and go forward a little bit more, get Brighton under pressure when they're chipping the ball around the back half. The opposition aren't under as much pressure, and with the oval being a little bit smaller, those gaps don't open up for their guys with their good legs. So be interesting to see if they change their mindset with their ball movement in the second quarter.
I mean, their ball movement going inside 50's been fantastic. 7 scoring shots. They've moved it quickly. We haven't seen the congestion in Golden Grove's forward 50 that we saw all quarter in Brighton's. And they just have some marking options and some finishes. And to be honest, I mean, both teams, you could say, with the opportunities, could have kicked a couple of more goals than what they have.
You can see the classic, and we've probably got the league's best full forward not playing today as well, Golden Grove. So they've got lots of options in the front half, haven't they? Well,
Templeton's not up. I'm not sure if he is lined up forward, but he's got most of his touches between the centre square and centre circle and the edge of the centre square. They're really running with a very open forward line. We saw Louis Johnson up there for a moment. As you can see some of the crowd here, and you can see some of the weather behind us. A bit of cloud, but a bit of blue sky. Hopefully it stays that way, because that's the weather coming. It's a beautiful spot, but we are just a tad vulnerable if the weather goes pear-shaped. But I don't think that's going to happen today.
We'll be fine, Phil.
We'll be fine. You look after me. Yeah, nothing that a tarp wouldn't fix anyway. I think we're just about set. Crowd has cleared. Brighton going to the right of your screen. Golden Grove to the left. The Bombers trailing by 17 at home, looking to avoid a 0-3 start. Golden Grove, well, they got that first Division 1 win last week. Well, you felt pretty good. They like another. Glenn, is there not much he can't do? He's playing ruck. But it will be Johncock, Lachlan Johncock tapping it forward. It's an inside 50.
Sneaky free kick here. Yeah. Phil, not a lot in that, but sometimes if you play in front, you just get a little bit fortunate, don't you? Trying to see who the player with the ball is here.
Joe Plenty.
It is Plenty again. So Plenty has played a lot of football as a half-back from what I've seen, but he might be playing half-forward. Might be a good call by Coach Barrow, because this is a guy that can use the football either by kicking or setting up a goal. Type of player they desperately need in their front half. We saw him on the siren. He's got the length here, Phil, just needs the accuracy.
Yes, well, he's already had a test of his hammy today. This from a step inside the arc. Looks good off the boot. Did it travel? No, short by a metre. So he probably conceded a bit of power for accuracy.
I'll make the comment again, Phil. We spoke about that this week. Brighton, it's a slight slope going to the left.
Okay.
It feels slightly uphill to right. Not much, but slightly downhill to the left of your
There
screen.
is Cement Hill down the road, not too far. And that starts to us. Yeah, you're probably right, actually.
Ball always just carried that little bit further, having a shot from the 50-yard going to the left.
Golden Grove have got it to their half-forward flank. Well, there's going to be a pretty hard tackle out of bounds. And it will be a throw-in. 16-point margin. Not out of range yet for the Bombers, but they really would like the first one. They've had one crack at it. A couple of Kookaburra fans there could love the scarf on the back of the ute there. Golden Grove, good pressure. Glenn, the hand pass. The Kookaburras are away. This is Tommy to an open goal. It's going to land on the goal line. Needs a bounce. Oh, what a bounce it took. Don't tell me. It's a goal. It looked like it was going to bounce through for a behind. Took a high right-hand turn.
I was wondering what Cavallari was getting so excited about. But obviously he knew that the ball bounced over and the goal umpire had no doubt.
2 to Tomney on debut. And the Dartfish replay will show just...
Love to see a replay of that, Phil. For mine, the ball went this side of the stick. Can we get another replay of that up? It might be too late. Watch the ball here. I thought the ball went in front of the post, our end. I might be wrong.
It did, and then it bounced back. Like that.
So it's bounced in. Okay, so
it's
it wasn't
in
the initial
and
bounce.
and then bounced right.
Okay, so it's done the Angus Momfries, has it?
Well, Momfries was a sharp right along the ground. That not only, I mean, Seagal had the right-hand turn covered. It just bounced over his head.
That's extremely lucky from Golden Grove.
Extremely lucky. The Kookaburras will take it. They got the game-high 22-point lead. Yeah, it's almost like it hit the old centre square plate diamond. And
apologies for that. I thought the ball, he'd called a goal from the initial bounce. It bounced over the line, but it's just bounced in the field of play, taken a big right angle and gone over. So, well done. It's a fine line, isn't it? Plenty shot touch with a few millimetres in front, and then down it goes for a goal straight away.
Yeah, you never want to have to rely on getting the bounce right on an Australian rules football, despite those trick shots you see quite often in the elite levels.
Big old-fashioned shepherd there from Nigel Oswald. Not sure if you caught that, Phil, but that was a really good shepherd. All fair, trying to give his teammate a bit of space.
No advantage. It's out of bounds. I guess it's so Golden Grove clearing it, I guess.
Osborne's a player, never short of getting involved in a bit of physicality. He's a tough player.
Yeah. One of the veterans here at Brighton is...
Former league medalist as well.
Yes.
At the twilight of his career, but he's still super fit. Member of the Fire Brigade with a few of the Brighton boys, I believe, which keeps him pretty fit for footy.
Yep, would do that. Kick across the middle. Cam Shetton is there waiting. He's marked pretty much on the tee saucer. Looks up for Johnson, who stood his ground well.
No point arguing.
Johnson wants a kick. Golden Grove says no. We'll just take it for a quick one-on-one contest. Templeton tapped it down only as far as Perry. And that's not bad by the Bombers. They got out of there in a hurry. Higgins is marked in front of our Hans Sportal scoreboard. Looking for Carthy. This is where... I think that's Ingram is running a bit of interference. Golden Grove, they just look a bit cleaner and a bit stronger with the ball. Again, another kick. Players flying from all directions.
Seagull again. That would be his third intercept, I think, for the game.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to...
No, he's paid a free kick
to
his teammate.
The early elite. So Brighton trying to...
I don't like when they do that, Phil. Pay the mark. Pay the mark. He deserves a stat for that, Seagull.
Yeah. Interesting one. I have to think about that one. So Brighton trying to clear. Off the ground was Pittman. We saw Johnson try that trick straight to a teammate. This occasion goes straight to Ty Murphy of the Bombers. Wearing the what am I going to call them? The Golden Grove boots. Almost the same shade of green. Brighton have switched it. They've switched it well. They've worked out. It's taken them a quarter and a bit. They've worked out a way to get around Golden Grove. They're taking the scenic route home, but they're taking it pretty quickly. They're at forward 50 now. Great kick from Osborne onto Plenty. Plenty from the Lacrosse Club pocket to the top of the square. It's high for Dixon. Couldn't take it. Where are the Crummers? Rivers has got it. He's got the hand pass on. Snap around the body of Brighton, got their first goal of the quarter. They have through Dylan Draper. That was actually
great
one of
passage of play.
the best passage of play I think I've seen this game. The way that Brighton worked it around with pace and good long precision kicking.
Yeah, they got the ball. It's very rare in Adelaide Footy League Division 1 to get the ball from deep in your back 50 and go end to end and score. And they managed to do that. They were patient down back, but they found an outlet on the wing. Plenty didn't shoot for goal. He put the ball to the dangerous spot at the top of the square. And I think it was Rivers, who's a key position player, who's a good ground level player, flicked the handball out. Great snap, important goal for Brighton, just keeps them in touch.
Just gone 3 o'clock local time in Adelaide. 7 minutes gone of the second quarter, a goal each. Shenson took his time, kick was partially smothered. They'll move it forward with Templeton. And not Segal on this occasion, but another tall bomber's taken the mark. They've decided the best way to work around Golden Grove is to move it quickly out of defence to loose players. That requires work rate. Turnover, excellently done by Cavallaro. He kicked a very critical goal last week that turned the game. This time his kick in the pocket lacked a little bit, but here comes the defence. Was that Lockie Borg bringing the pain? Yes, it was.
Golden Grove's turn now to have some inside 50 dominance, 5-2 this quarter.
Yeah, rare stoppage inside their forward 50. Brighton have worked out the numbers. Here comes the footy. Here comes Rivers trying to take the mark. Ends up being with Horskins. We're back inside 50 again, so Golden Grove trying to even the numbers up. Now there is a... Is there a 55 out there? Because I don't have a 55 on us. Yeah, there's a 55 out there. Okay.
Didn't see that at the first quarter. Might have a blood.
No, there is. He's just, yeah.
Blood on the game.
Where's the boundary rider? We'll have to get locked one onto it. We'll ring him. I'm sure Golden Grove will let us know in due course. Too hard to go through all the players and work out who doesn't have a number out there. So what do we got here? We've got a ball up, 30 metres out, 16-point lead. So as good as you think Golden Grove have been, Brighton are just staying in touch. Trying to do the 1-2. In the end, slipped, turned it over was Josh Glenn. A rare mistake from him. But Brighton couldn't quite make him pay. It was a stoppage. Again, plenty of players inside Brighton's attacking arc. Sorry, Golden Grove's attacking arc, my apologies. Gets to defensive, gets to the 50 arc. This is where Golden Grove have some numbers. Cavallaro's kick. Yeah. Kane Blades. Yes.
Big forward. Remember he copped that cork thigh last week as well, and he was all strapped up.
He was.
And he looks like he's moving pretty well today. Started the game at full forward, so I wasn't sure if he was sore, but he's been running around the footy.
How long does a cork thigh take to recover from?
You don't miss, unless it's one of the world's worst players get up from corkies. I'd be disappointed if I was a coach if a player didn't get up from a corky.
Okay. So Blades has had one shot from the exact opposite pocket in the first quarter, yet to register a goal. He has now. Nice kick. And Golden Grove's conversion of inside 50 opportunities.
No, he's paid it behind.
He's paid it behind. Have I gone too early?
Yeah.
Gone too early.
I think that must have been tight. The goal umpire stood in the middle of the goals and didn't move.
Yeah.
Watched it sail over his hat and called a point.
Yeah.
Good theatrics there. That's what we want to see.
Not the first time that's happened to me. It won't be the last either. Johnson. Haven't seen much of him so far. Gets a good clearance right by the boundary. The kick by Connor Dodd. I think was searching for Pittman.
8 inside 50s to 2 filled this quarter, so some domination from Golden Grove.
Yeah. And they haven't had quite the same free-flowing movement inside 50 as they did in the first. But it's a Brighton free, and everyone moves. Justin Evans picks himself off the bottom of the pack. You can see the Sportal scoreboard in the background. It is Golden Grove 5-4-34. Bombers 2-5-17. Johnson roaming at the back of the pack, got the hand pass from Mitch Payne. Now we're on to Borg. Borg to the pocket, 2-on-1 Brighton. Claiming the mark, but umpire's not buying. Stoppage in front of our scoreboard. Where are we at? 11 and a half minutes gone of the first quarter. Quarter time it was. Tea Gully, huge lead over Paynham. Shock over Spock, sort of as expected, and here are the Kookaburras. That kind of looked a throw.
A shovel.
The rugby ground is behind us. And in the end, the kick, a nice grab. Segal, another one. This time he's paid the mark.
I wonder if his nickname's Stephen. But
have to be, wouldn't it?
He's a threat, though, behind the ball, isn't he? He either makes the contest or marks, so he doesn't get outdone in the air at all. So athletic. Such a high reach.
It's with Jack Loy. They're playing a little bit of keepings off at the moment.
So what you're trying to do here is you're just trying to slowly march the ball up the ground, Phil, so your long exit kick can be in your front half rather than your defensive half, which is what they've done here.
Yeah. Sent a long way from home for Golden Grove, although they've again got the turnover and some good hands. Johnson, just a high kick. Thought I heard a whistle, but that might have been the lacrosse. Yeah, it is, because Brighton just scored a goal. In the lacrosse, they're leading whoever they're playing 3-0. Scores around the grounds. We need a sponsor for scores around the grounds.
Including lacrosse scores around the grounds.
Hey, it's a score. It's a different ground. Throw in. A little bit hard to tell who's got the momentum at the moment. Brighton's defence is solidified. Ball's been played down the northern end. It's almost like that's where the breeze is going, and that might well be the case. It made Golden Grove's decision to kick into it a little bit interesting. But here come the Bombers momentarily through Murphy.
And a bit of a scuffle on behind the play.
Yeah, well, you watch that, and I'll watch some footy. Our Phantom 55 has it.
And something's been paid off the ball here as well from that scuffle.
There's a bit of after. There's going to be the free. It's going to be Golden Grove.
And it's a 50-metre penalty
getting
as well.
a kickable shot. 25 or 50. We'll see in a sec.
25.
25. Can't remember the last time I saw a 50-metre at a level below the AFL.
It's a big error from Brighton. I know both teams are scuffling, but they've been holding on so well, and they just didn't need this. They'll be hoping for an inaccurate shot.
Mitchell Payne, straight in front on a sunny April day in Adelaide. I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to wait this time. He's missed. Okay.
Yeah, you've got to wait with that goal umpire. He's very theatrical.
I reckon he was the same bloke at Harper's Field last week. He got me a couple of times. So both teams peppering. Haven't had a goal in a while.
Dangerous kick out there, but probably went to the right man in Osborne.
This quarter, Brighton have kicked 1 goal, 1. Golden Grove have kicked 1 goal, 2.
Bit of a turnaround from the first quarter. 10 inside 50s. They've had Golden Grove, just the 1 goal.
Make that 11. And they're going to get another shot. Jake Pittman, not in a mood to argue about where the Brighton player should be standing on the mark. Usually a pretty good way to turn the ball over doing that too hard.
By my count, that's the first time they've marked the ball inside 50.
This quarter?
Yes. So Brighton have put a lot of pressure on. Golden Grove haven't capitalised.
Well, they're due. 5-5. Decent return. The kick is not going to score. Of that, I'm sure. It's off the back, another behind. So, Hahn, Sportal, scoreboard. Well, Golden Grove, they're 5-6. That's 36. Brighton 2-5-17. A 19-point lead, which I think is about as big as it's got. I don't think it's got over 20 points so far today.
Brighton just need to hang on here. They've only had 2 inside 50s for the quarter.
Wow. One of those I got a goal.
One of those a goal after dominating inside 50s in the first quarter for just the 1 goal. So they need to try and get end to end here and just clear. Golden Grove are well and truly on top here at the moment.
So this is almost like you'd think that there's a 10-goal breeze going to the northern end. Well, there isn't. Golden Grove, good kick. Tomley on debut, already has 2 goals. Probably 2 for out for a third. He spots up. Good kick forward, and this is Josh Ingram.
It was Johnston that took the intercept mark on the wing. He's now drifting forward looking for a chip pass. We're waiting for a coach to tag Johnston soon, Phil. For mine, he just gets to run around and do whatever he wants.
Usually means danger for the opposition. Is Ingram's kick?
Short again.
Yeah. Is this 50 arc playing with players' heads? Given it's shorter than what it is, maybe they think it's shorter. Given it's not 50, the player's thinking it's 45 and it's actually 48 or something. I'm not sure. Harvey has it in the middle. First time Brighton have gone forward, and they went forward all of about half a second. They'll get a chance here. Osborne's run onto it. He's got a free Harvey. Harvey will show a bit of dash. Kick to the pocket looking for Taka. He's taken the grab 55 out. His opponent falls over. A chance for Taka to kick it inside 50 towards the goals, but good intercept. Aidan Thatcher was waiting for that. And just like that, Golden Grove has swapped it over, and
that was the play, Phil, for Brighton to score. If they could have scored on that transition, as we see, they might cause a turnover here.
With their first goal. Chance for the Bombers to get a turnover. And in the end, it will be a stoppage. Front of the crew here, there's quite a few here with the prams and the deck chairs. Enjoying some Saturday afternoon Adelaide Footy League. There is a Golden Grove player who went down about 2 minutes ago and isn't getting up, so that's going to be a stoppage in play.
Might have been in that marking contest with Taka on the far side.
It was, he went down.
Trying to see what he's holding there. Phil, I thought he was holding his arm potentially.
It could be. He's got one of his teammates. Elbow? Elbow, okay.
Not really moving, is he? So we might have a little bit of a stoppage here.
We will. Well, we got that, Adam. I'm just going to have a quick look around the other games. Give everybody a bit of a score update. It is Tea Tree Gully by 40 points, 16 minutes into the second quarter. The Gully's 8-6-54. Payneham Norwood Union 2-2-14. So no comeback from Payneham as yet. Of course, they had a huge final quarter against Golden Grove in round 1 to claim that win. Meanwhile, Shock have extended their lead. They are against St. Peter's. They're 7-3-45. Spocker 1-2-8. And no stretching needed.
I think it potentially was. He just didn't want to get on it. He's in a bit of trouble over there, Phil.
Leg is not the issue. I think it might be Jared Cotgrove. I think I saw the 3 on the back. Well, they've got a stretcher on the field. I hope the ball doesn't go in that particular direction. Popped his shoulder, okay. And Golden Grove, smartly, as the trainers are trying to find a way to get off of the oval without going through the play, Glenn kicks it down out of bounds. That's pretty smart. And our trainers are moving at speed across Brighton's attacking 50. Time on, imminent. Half-time, not too far away. Been a low-scoring quarter. As I said, it's been 1 goal each. Golden Grove have had more opportunities, really have not taken advantage of them. And they're going to get one here through our Phantom 55. Heads towards the half-forward flank. Pick up from Banwell out of bounds.
I think it might be an arm injury, Phil. We don't want to speculate, but he's walking, but gingerly they're holding his arm, I think.
It's nothing below the waist. It's something on...
It's either a shoulder or an arm injury.
On his right arm, somewhere on there. Shoulder, elbow, arm. We'll get a closer look shortly.
But doesn't look good for him returning today. I'm not sure what the rule is. We spoke about this the other way. If you leave the field there, I think you're done, aren't you?
Correct. Did not go through the interchange gates. I think if you come off on a stretcher, you might be given some leeway. But generally, if you come off on a stretcher, you're not coming back on. And it's not a concussion situation of a 20-minute thing. There is definitely some physical ailment there. Kick down the wing. Harvey has it. Ingram has him. Umpire's found a free over the shoulder. And it will be Pittman. Can Golden Grove snag one before the halftime? There's a lot of bombers in that vicinity. That was 4-1. Now we know where Golden Grove are hanging out. Okay, well they'll try again. Cavallaro. Well, if you're going to beat that, you're going to have to. I don't know, how do you beat that? Work around the edges of it. That is ridiculous. Now it's Brighton's turn. This is, I guess, where you handball and run on a wave, isn't it?
Yeah, well, theoretically, easier said than done, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Might have gone over with a high tackle there, but the umpire blindsided. That was a smart move. They got Tucker in on one-on-one. Now they get a stoppage in their front half,
Yeah.
Brighton.
I think that's the best thing. Get the stoppage and even up the numbers a little bit. He goes to Lachlan Johncock. He's got a little bit of space to head for home. And he's dobbed it.
That curled back late, Phil.
You notice I waited and I waited and I waited. But that is a goal to Brighton. Their third today, their second this quarter. Which means they're winning the quarter. 3-3-20, 3-5-23, 5-7-37, 14-point margin. Was 17 at the first break. And he's been threatening to do that all game.
So in the first quarter, Phil, Brighton had 13 inside 50s, kicked 1 goal. This quarter, they've had 5 inside 50s, kicked 2 goals. So
yep.
Huge. What you made mention of all the numbers that Brighton had back, but that's what you've got to do sometimes. You've got to flood back, like soccer style, protect your goals, and then they got one on the rebound. Big goal. Turnover,
counter-attack. It's the way you score a lot of goals in modern-day footy. Brighton initially went forward. Oh, there's an interesting one. Osborne really put his head down for that one, and he's going to be caught for it.
A little bit stiff, but he is taking the tackler on there, isn't he? Didn't get his arms free for a handball.
I don't think umpires are particularly giving to players who put their head down and head towards a player these days. Golden Grove's kick. And so the Golden Grove player actually hasn't come back. He's sitting on the picket fence over there at the moment being attended to. Probably a bit of a worry if he's not up to coming. He's come 2/3 of the way back to...
He's obviously in a fair bit of pain,
Yeah.
Phil. Let's hope that he's okay.
If someone's got one of those sticks that you end up sucking on that takes away some of that pain. Right now, this game it's evenly poised. Golden Grove, much more of the football, much less of the scoring.
15 inside 50s to 5 this quarter.
Dear, oh dear. Like to see some footy on the centre wing. Osborne hand passes it straight to Louis Johnson. Johnson goes across field. Plenty got a hand on it. Fender 55 had it, got tackled straight away. There's Chalmers. He's got it on to Cardian. Brightness, look at the guys free on the other side. They've gone the wrong side. They've gone the wing where Golden Grove had the numbers. There was probably about 4-2 Brighton on the outer side. And right now, everyone's just breathing in the big ones.
Won't be a long quarter, will it, Phil? There might only be a minute or so to go here.
3 goals. Thatcher's kick. Yeah, that's Connor Dodd. He's had about 3 kicks like that, working the inside boundary onto
fantastic tackle
Lockie Borg. That was a fantastic tackle. Borg thought, I'm away and heading towards an open goal. Next thing he's brought to ground, and I think that was Justin Evans with the tackle.
So Brighton need to really roll up here and don't want to concede a late goal. If they can win this quarter, go in a 14-point deficit, they'll take that.
Half time, not too far away.
50 seconds.
This is the close one. The other 2 games, Tea Tree Gully and over Payneham Norwood Union, and Shock over Spock by big margins. And we said Brighton would be underdogs. The more they can stay in range, the more they
Golden Grove have struggled in last quarters as well.
They have
Phil.
too.
So if I'm just staying in touch if I'm Brighton.
Yeah.
Even last week we got out of jail a little bit.
They did.
They were dominated in that first.
Maybe that's why they want to go with the wind in the final quarter with that coin toss win. Maybe. At 50. It's been in this
throw for mine,
area. Umpire's found a free hold on the ball. Brighton will have it.
Brighton's tackling pressure has been impressive this quarter, hasn't it? It's had to be. If they didn't apply pressure to all these entries, they'd be well down, but their tackling pressure has been really, really good.
And it's been good enough for the Bombers to win the quarter. In that quarter, Brighton kicked 1-4 in the first, kicked 2 goals, 1 in the second. And Golden Grove, who kicked 4-3 in the first, kicked 1 goal, 4 in the second. How does that all add up? On the Hans Portal scoreboard, it is Brighton 5-7-37. Sorry, Golden Grove 5-7-37. Brighton 3-5-23. We will take a break. Be back with the second half very shortly. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League thanks to Filming Footy.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
And Crone takes the lead in the Coolmore. Crone draws clean out from Mizzy. It's a Queensland victory.
Brisbane won the Victoria Handicap.
But Mahuda goes all the way. Where again, Mahuda?
Taliqua, too classy for them. The Blue Star flashing, beats the ball. A Blue Star gets up the win.
But it's all Globe, 100 metres to go. It's 6 lengths in front. This is an outstanding performance again. And Globe eased down, won the King's Coronation Cup in a canter.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
And welcome back to Brighton Oval. It's just a beautiful day to be out enjoying some footy. We know winter's not far away. It's cooler, but it's just pleasant. Probably not so pleasant. Pretty sure that was Jared Cottrell who came off and he's just waiting for an ambulance now, I think, which has turned up. So he's done himself some damage on his right arm, shoulder, elbow, somewhere in that vicinity. We wish him the best. Currently being attended to, and yes, he has got the magic stick at the moment, which is hopefully making things feel a little bit better, because I think he's been, unfortunately, in a fair bit of pain.
Showed a lot of courage to try and walk it off, didn't he?
He did.
I know it's not a leg injury, but if it was me, I'd still be down.
Still be down indeed, yeah. So, we've got ourselves the close game. You've seen the other scores there at the moment. Teacher Gully have come out. Payton have pegged them back a little bit. It was 36 points at quarter time, 24 now. Spock and Shock, well, Spock led by 17 at the first break, around about 32 at the main break. Here it was Golden Grove who made the most of limited opportunities in the first quarter, lead by 17. Brighton made more of less opportunities in the second quarter. And 14 points the margin. How do you see this one at the moment, Adam?
Yeah, well, Brighton have hung in there, haven't they? I was impressed with their tackling pressure and their pressure around the ball that quarter. Obviously, Golden Grove had the 16 inside 50s to 5 in the second quarter, so that's domination. But they only kicked the one goal and Brighton kicked 2. So just so the viewers at home understand, when the reason I count the inside 50s to give you some feedback, it gives you an idea of how teams are playing. It doesn't impact the scoreboard all the time. 5 entries, 2 goals, 16 entries, 1 goal. But it gives, when you're winning, you might be winning a game, you've had a low inside 50 number, so you work around the ball and defensively might not be good, and vice versa. Hey, we're not playing that well, guys, but we've had 16 entries into the forward 50, so something's going right. That's the reason for keeping people updated, and as a coach, it's a great tool to understand, hey, if I'm Golden Grove, we only kicked 1 goal that quarter, but 16 entries, guys, we're doing a lot of things right. We just need to tidy some things up inside 50. That's what that's all about. So it's unusual for Golden Grove, isn't it? They look so dangerous inside 50. To have that many entries and 1 goal was a surprise. So for mine, it's game on. Brighton need to keep the scoreboard ticking over. Golden Grove will find a groove soon, Phil. I think they'll have a 3 or 4 goal quarter here. How do Brighton have a 3 or 4 goal quarter? If they're 2 kicks down at 3-quarter time, Golden Grove have struggled in last quarters. It might be game on. Brighton can come home. But we'll wait and see.
And Golden Grove, come the final quarter, will be down a rotation.
Yep.
And in the final quarter, we'll probably start to be feeling it.
Yeah, I dare say they will. So, yeah, Brighton just need to hang in there and keep the scoreboard ticking over. Find 3 or 4 accurate kicks, but they can't just have 5 entries for a quarter either, Phil. They need to get a little bit better at centre clearance and try and get some repeat entries and lock the ball in their half, which they weren't able to do in that second quarter. They did it early in the game, but haven't been able to do it since.
So we have one award to give away thanks to our sponsors. This is Archie's Footwear and, of course, Dartfish, the iconic Dartfish beanie. Don't know what award we're going with. There's going to be one award. We just haven't worked out what we're going to call it yet. Who do you think is award worthy at this point?
Yeah, for mine, I know I keep saying we've called them 2 weeks in a row. Lewis Johnson has had a lot of the football, and every time he gets it, something happens. Now, he plays as a winger. I'm surprised that a couple of coaches haven't employed a bit of a harder tag on Johnston, because for mine, if Johnson doesn't touch the ball, it takes away so much of their offensive firepower around the ball. He doesn't necessarily have to gut run around the field. He just sort of does what he does, and there's no one ever around him. So for mine, they need to maybe lock onto Johnston, who's been a really, really good player. Josh Glenn was really good in the first quarter. I thought maybe drifted out of it a bit in that second quarter. For Brighton, I like Jarman Siegel. I think he's a really, really good player. He had a lot of work to do that quarter. I thought Osborne was involved a lot as well in that quarter around the ball, tackling pressure. It was a bit stiff with a couple of the holding the balls against him, but Osborne's always there and thereabouts. Otis Carthy's a player that's had a lot of the ball for Brighton as well.
I thank our sponsors, Archie's Footwear, Belgravia Apparel, New Balance, Nearmouth Mouthguards, the Hahn Sportal Scoreboard, Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic, Roller Dice Racing, Farmers Leap Winery, Police Credit Union, Dartfish, and place where we're not too far away from today, the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Players are set. You're with Adam Jeffries and Phil Hurd, and let's get this third quarter underway from Brighton Oval, home of the Bombers, trailing by 14 points. It will be Brighton who should get the clearance. They have the numbers to do so, and they will do so now. Involved in that was Broadbent and on to Finlay Bennett's marked by Carthy at the arc. Pops it up to the top of the square. Golden Grove seem to have plenty of numbers. Off hands they read it, and quick hand pass out to some space. Louis Johnson's kick. An inboard kick inside 50 needs to be precise. It was. That was to Dobie. They'll work it down the clubroom wing, which is appreciated. And just before Dixon was about to take off with it, the boundary umpire said, my ball.
Again, Johnston getting 2 possessions with no one really close to him. Phil?
Brett Backwell there on his haunches with the cap.
They're in this game, Brighton, aren't they? He would have been reiterating that to his troops. They've been out of the matches at half-time the first 2 rounds, but today they're in the match.
He had a good comeback against Prince Alfred, but was just basically from too far back. Hand pass by Johnson, managed to get it forward, but Brighton have some numbers. They need to turn it around now. Backing himself and getting away with it was Justin Evans to the 50-metre arc, but 21-21, Connor Dodd has it for the Kookaburras. They try to switch it, and there'll be another turnover. One count that would have been fascinating today would be the turnovers. There's been a lot of intercept marking today as teams have loaded up behind the play. Dobie to Shenton, back to Johnson in the maintenance shed pocket. And Segal, another intercept mark. Teams are barely getting more than 3 possessions in a row here in this third quarter. Segal will wind up. Again, another big pack. And that's actually up Clunk. Well, I guess you keep doing it often enough, someone's going to grab one eventually. Rivers has it. And this, well, when it's close, every kick's important. But just to establish some momentum out of the halftime break.
Must kick straight here, Phil. I know we keep saying it's easy from the commentary box, isn't it? These set shots from 25-30 are just little nervous ones for the full forwards sometimes, but Rivers is an experienced player. But game on if he can kick this. They've had some good domination. The Brighton defenders have rolled up really hard. They've had some good field positions.
Well, it's one where you can back off the power because you're well within range and you focus on the accuracy. For the first goal in this third quarter, and Rivers delivers his second, the 4th for Brighton. And just like that, the margin is back to single digits. Hans Portal scoreboard, Golden Grove 5-7-37, leading the Bombers 4-5-29, and I think I might be mistaken. Who got the first goal of the second quarter?
That would have been Golden Grove.
So, yeah, first time this match that Brighton have managed to strike first in a quarter.
Yeah, they're well and truly in this game, Brighton, aren't they? Like I said, great start to the third quarter for them, but more importantly, the finish there from Rivers was a great contested mark. Golden Grove will be disappointed they didn't get a big fist on that ball.
It's game on at Brighton. It is your Saturday match of the day, thanks to Filming Footy, and posted on the other margins, we have the close one. It's always going to be a bit of an enthralling contest. Brighton probably a little bit better than their record indicates. And Golden Grove, of course, still feeling their way in this new division. Brighton have it. So Golden Grove haven't gone forward to centre. This is resuming. I don't know what it is about the northern end today. If you do your inside 50 count, Adam, I'd love you to get a chance. Do a count of how many inside 50s to the north and to the south today.
The old down the hill, Phil.
Yeah, maybe. Bouncing ball, and that's going to be a free kick. I'm pretty sure Borg was in the back. Umpire says Brighton are incredulous that it's not holding the ball. Golden Grove are incredulous it's not in the back.
I thought he did play in the back. There you go, ball up.
Yeah, ball up indeed.
Dodged a little bullet there, Brighton.
Templeton trying to play for the free. Decides, well, if you're not going to pay me a free, I'll lay a tackle. Will be a throw in right next to the Golden Grove goals. They're going to the Seacliff end. Brighton are kicking to the Hove end, the railway end. Tried to get the tap onto Blades, and they'll do it pretty well. The Bombers. O'Loughlin, Johncock, high kick.
Some numbers here.
Harvey and Dobie both went underneath it. And it's going to be free to Golden Grove once Chalmers gets off, which he does. The hand pass to Johnson, as expected. Pinpoint kick to Tomney on debut. Has 2 goals already. Puts it up. He's got the height to jump over the top. Cavallaro's got the crumbs. His kick is looking pretty good if it's going to be shepherded through. No, that is a awesome effort. That has to be Segal, I'm pretty sure.
That was Evans, I think, on
Evans,
the last
I'll
line.
stand corrected.
Because that was going to go through, wasn't it? It was a great snap by Cavallaro.
Yeah.
Just wrestled his opponent out enough.
It might have bounced before the line, and once that happens, all bets are off.
We saw that in the second quarter, didn't we?
In the second quarter.
Amazing, that was Golden Grove's only goal for that quarter too,
I know.
wasn't it? So, watch the line out here. This is where they'll kick a barrel or a drop punt right down the middle of the ground here.
And there's not many out wide.
This is a set play. Watch the barrel.
Here she goes. They got part of it. It's going to land in the tea saucer.
They're away here, Brighton.
They got a chance. Yes, they got the hand pass on to Taka. 1-on-1, 2-on-2 contest inside forward 50. Yep. Oh, the forwards almost collided, but it's a grab. Will Rivers again, I think. Confirm in a sec.
That's Rivers with the mark.
Yeah, I was about to say either Rivers or someone with the same haircut.
I used to coach against Brett Backwell, and that was a set play when he was at Prince Alfred at Brighton. Just on occasion, it's called a line out. All players in the middle, barrel up the guts. It's a chaos play into an end. And as soon as they win the ball, Rivers was goal side. So it's a great set play. And again, if Rivers can kick accurately here, Phil, we have a ball game.
The margin will be within a goal. Golden Grove have not scored in this second quarter. Brighton lining up for goal number 2. It needs to come back a little bit, and it does! Rivers has 3. Brighton, they have 5. 5-5-35. They trail Golden Grove 5-8-38. 3-point margin at Brighton Oval.
He's looked pretty dangerous today, Will Rivers. He's been working really hard in the forward line for few and far opportunities, but in this quarter they're getting plenty of entries. That was a great mark and more importantly a great finish. Love the set play from Brighton. It's a real dangerous play because it can rebound and score, but they've taken the attacking mindset. I'm not sure who it was that did the barrel on the kick out, but he got hold of it and over the back it went.
So Golden Grove need a steadier. They'll get the clearance with Templeton, who's in the middle today. Standing strong. The Brighton defence in the path of Finlay Bennett, one of the 2 inclusions. Johnson got it to Cavallaro into the pocket. Tomney, 55 out. Comes in board, still outside the arc. Sits with Lockie Borg. He goes into the pocket. So Cam Shetton, they've increased the angle and slightly decreased the distance.
Very composed ball use. You said how do you get around all the numbers? That's how you do it, but then you've got to shoot from the pocket.
Then you've got a low percentage shot, but with a highly skilled player. Known more for his defence. That didn't miss by a lot. That was a very well placed kick. Golden Grove have their first score of the quarter. It is a behind. Now, let's see if they can bottle it up. A more traditional kick out. Ricky O'Loughlin, John Cock has it. That didn't quite come off the boot as intended. Cavallaro did well because one of the Brighton players almost mistook his face for the footy.
Great tackling
getting
pressure
into
again.
it too.
Yeah. Great tackling pressure again from Brighton.
Thatcher a little slow and sore getting up.
Lachlan Johncock would like to have that kick again. It's just a lazy kick off the back foot. Take your time, and wait for the play to unfold.
Good tap from behind, ends up with Borg. Hand pass on to Cavallaro. It's a huge fly, but a free kick. Tomney, I've given A for enthusiasm, but an F for the result.
You can see, Phil, not having Pascoe on the end of that pass has made a big difference today. Pascoe marks that ball.
Totally different forward setup for Golden Grove today.
So it has hurt Golden Grove maybe a little bit more than what I thought it might.
Templeton's had his share of touches, but they've all been in the centre square. It was the Templeton and Pascoe show, especially early last Saturday. Feels like a long time ago.
We've got another player down, injured as well here for Golden Grove, hasn't moved. So it's all going Brighton's way at the moment.
Well, Golden Grove probably need to make the best of their opportunities. They're getting a couple of repeat inside 50s now. Trying to move it forward, and it will be a stoppage. Chance for everybody to regroup. 10.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. It's been Brighton's quarter. The injured Golden Grove player on the outer wing is up, moving and stopped. Back to the play. That was high. Was the player slipping? We'll let the Dartfish replay work that one out. But it will be a Golden Grove shot. I think he's playing with the angle a little bit. Yeah, I think that Golden Grove player is up and okay for the moment. All eyes are on Jake Pittman. Margin got out to 19, down to 3. I reckon Brighton have kicked the last 3 goals. The last of the second quarter, the first 2 of the third. And I reckon, yeah, the Brighton man on the mark is a long way off the mark. It's about to charge forward now. Pittman is put off. A miss. All of a sudden, Golden Grove, their accuracy has deserted them. 5-10. Brighton, who started 1 goal 4, are 5-5. And those 5 behinds are the difference in this footy match.
It's a bad miss, Phil, isn't it?
It is. At a time when they just needed the settler.
Haven't bar that lucky goal in the second quarter with the bounce.
Yeah, that's been it for the last 2.
Yeah.
Higgins to
They're
Perry.
away here again.
Bombers are finding a way to work through Golden Grove. Now they've got Evans in open space and some runners if wanted. He elects to go with the quick kick inside 50 and Lachlan Johncock has it. Distance will test him.
Lachlan Johncock's got the ability just to jump early and hover, hasn't he, Phil? He's not a big man, but takes a nice overhead mark for his size. Could be a sneaky forward option at times for Brighton.
And Brighton are doing this without their number 1 ruck on the field at the moment. Tim Dixon and even Will Rivers is off at the moment. He's been their key forward with 2 goals this quarter. They're itching to get back on. But it's whether Lachlan Johncock comes in from the arc. Was on target, lobbed about 3 metres from the goal line, and the Kookaburras concede. Back to 4 points. Shadows slowly starting to make their way across the ground as we're not too far away from 4 o'clock local. Good kick. Pinpoint finds Banwell. Almost did it. Banwell. To Pittman. They've moved it across field. Right, they've got him covered at the moment. The easy, fast movement that Golden Grove had has disappeared for the moment. They're going to have to work hard for this. So there's a free player. It's our man Banwell. Inside pass though. Just missed the target. Easy, uncontested Bombers mark. Backwell is on the sidelines.
He's normally a coach that likes to sit and analyse the game, but he knows he's right on the edge of the boundary line here. He knows his team's right in this match and it's a crucial period.
We don't quite have the view. We're on top of the Brighton bench pretty much. We don't quite have the view of the Golden Grove one to see where Coach Luke Barnby is for the Kookaburras. Not really a grandstand for a coach's box, so the balcony's pretty good. Oh. There's a flight. No mark. Brighton again 3-1 on that. And here comes Cavalry. Evans to Johncock. Gives a don't argue. Gives a hand pass. Here come the Bombers. How is that from Lachlan Johncock? Rivers, who's on the ground now, has found a teammate. It's Perry to a contest in the pockets. Coming through with power was Aidan Thatcher.
That's a great body spoil there. Just didn't have their targets inside 50 there, did they, Brighton? They'd all come up to the wing. They had to kick to a small
When we next do the highlight montage of the 10 clubs, I want that Johncock spoil, Johncock don't argue, to be the Bombers one.
He's had a good quarter as well. Lachlan Johncock's been in the thick of the action.
Could be holding the ball and is.
There's a tight one because he almost would have paid a sling to the ground after that.
Yeah.
Is it Rivers again with the free kick? It is.
He has been in everything this third quarter and had some time on the bench. As we see, it's all too much for Otis Carthy. He's taken 5.
When the masseuses dig into that sore spot, Phil.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're like, they think they're helping.
It goes from,
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, to, oh,
I never let them touch me. You're not helping. They probably are, but I still wouldn't let them. I was a bit sensitive, Phil.
Okay, were you?
A bit sensitive.
To
when I
pain?
played. Yeah, a bit sensitive. That's why I wasn't a great player.
Rivers just inside the arc for his third goal this quarter and his 4th for the game. He's heading into Dartfish Beanie territory if the Bombers can get up. And just checking right now, the Bombers are up.
You'd have to say that Rivers is certainly in line for a beanie today. 4 goals out of 6 in a tough, tight, low-scoring Division 1 game is a huge contribution. The finishing of him this quarter has been spectacular. You know, set shots from 40 to 50 metres out going through. So a huge contribution for Rivers. They need him to keep on going here. Can he kick 5 or 6, they can win the game. Not since the early minutes of the first quarter in Brighton, they were doing all the attacking and were kicking behinds, have the Bombers led. But they lead now, 6-6-42, 5-10-40. Hans Sportal scoreboard. It's been a great 16 minutes from the home club. Golden Grove, suddenly that 1 goal seems like ancient history, because it has been just the 1 goal since quarter time. Since quarter time, Brighton have kicked 5-1 in the goal department. Kane Blades has had a couple of shots. I don't have him for a major as yet. This is probably the best angle he's had. It's a pure centre bounce clearance, wasn't it? They were face forward. The kicker was able to look for a marking target and he took a nice contested mark. Got the bandage on the right knee or some sort of compression arrangement. We're right behind it. You're filming footy crew. And that ain't coming back. They're not missing by much, the Kookaburras, but they are missing. 5-11, 41. 6-6-42. Last week, weren't they?
They were. And that was the difference.
Yeah, they just took their chances.
7 goals won they kicked in the third quarter last week. And
pinpoint kick out there, just over the head of Cavallaro.
Which it needs to be in defensive 50. Nigel Osborne. Coming high, good grab.
Can clunk at that boy, can't he?
Jarman
It's a fantastic
Segal.
mark. They're away again.
He's taken a lot of clunks today. That was one of the better ones. Dixon just rushed it a little bit. Ingram with the intercept mark.
It was a fantastic mark from Dixon. It was just the wrong player kicking the ball for Brighton then, wasn't it?
Golden Grove concede a little bit. Back to the maintenance shed. They're going back towards goal. Working for them for the moment. Crisscrossing okay.
They've covered the switch though. There's no free player on the far side.
Now Phantom 55 is out by the scoreboard, but he's got a Bomber opponent. So they'll go long and take a mark. Well done. Good transition. This was the player who was injured, looked a little bit injured early. Good to see him in the contest.
Very attacking kick there through the middle. It's turned over.
It's John Cock onto Nerlich. And Thatcher with a pretty critical intercept mark. Going along to the outer side, looking and finding Johnson, leaving a couple of Bombers in his wake. What's his kick going to do? Goes through some players. Pittman's got to get a contested ball in the middle. Evans has help with Dixon. Got John Cock with the long hand pass. John Cock, Lachlan John Cock slipped over at the inconvenient moment. Golden Grove turnover. The hand pass. Borg recovered well onto Shenton, just missed the target.
Again, they're away here on transition, Brighton.
Yeah. Game's opened up a bit. Sits with Venning. He's got a lead. Got a contested ball at the arc. Got Harvey. Harvey's got an open goal beckoning. And he delivers. It's the Bombers' 4th goal to nil this quarter. And their lead extends to 7 points.
Yeah, wow. So I've counted for mine 3 times in this game, Phil. Brighton have been able to go from deep in their back 50 and transition for a goal. Again, Rivers is causing all sorts of problems. Is this follow-up there and handball that set that up. So Rivers is having a great quarter of football, 3 goals and a goal assist.
Yep.
And Brighton deserve where they're at. Yes, Golden Grove have missed a couple of shots, but Brighton have played really good football.
That's a stat we need more of in
What's
footy,
that?
the goal assist.
Goal assist. Yeah, we don't get a lot of credit for it in local footy, really, do you? But Rivers is there, competed in the air against 2, and then he's the first to win the ball, and he handballs to a guy running in the goal. It's great football. It doesn't always get recognised.
Hans Sportal scoreboard 7-6-48 to the Bombers. Golden Grove 5-11-41. Bombers can sniff it now. Desperate. Tackling has been excellent. Searching for that
Wouldn't say they're panicking.
all-important first win.
Golden Grove, you saw in their last few, they're frustrated that they can't move the ball, and we've seen their players take really risky kicks into the middle of the ground, which is in a small oval. It's going to get turned over more often than not.
Out of bounds on the cross side of the field where be another goal, and it's Brighton 13, North Adelaide 4 in your South Australian Lacrosse League this afternoon.
So some players and coaches think it's a bit of a myth field, but you do have to adjust your ball movement to certain ovals. From a Golden Grove to a Brighton, you can't find the pockets of space
Evenly
in
matched
some ovals.
teams, it's a matter of meterage sometimes.
You do have to just adjust and take territory on the smaller ovals. I coached at Goodwood, and teams would come out and try and move the ball on the small oval, and we'd just intercept it every time. Whereas on the bigger oval, they'd find those little pockets of space. So I feel like Golden Grove need to adjust and take territory, go forward more often than not.
In front of a Hans Sportal scoreboard showing the Bombers their biggest lead of the game, up by 7. I think they've kicked the last 5 goals of this game.
You would be right about that, Phil. Certainly kicked the last for Lachlan Johncock in the second.
Yeah, and 4-0 in the third. Okay, but Golden Grove have the numbers, but Brighton are just proving pesky. Connor Dodd's kick, smother, not the first smother we've seen this afternoon either. Time on. Could the Bombers hold Golden Grove goalless?
Critical little 3 or 4 minutes here, Phil. Goal either way. You'll look back on as a coach go, we couldn't concede that at this time. Brighton have got their hands on the ball.
They have Wormburn a kick inside 50. Now there's the target and put the head down that I'm never a favour of by Venning. Umpire on this occasion
Good umpiring there.
gives the benefit of the doubt.
Some umpires attempted to pay a high tackle there for mine.
You could never pay a high tackle. I'm thinking, is that I get the ball, I'm charging forward, head down. Where's my pro opportunity? Is that my pro opportunity? Another Golden Grove clearance, not too far though. Plenty's kick straight to the Kookaburras. They're running in waves here. They've got a chance to really set something up. Cavallaro to Borg, back to Tomney on debut. Kick looking for Horskins, just in and out of the fingertips. Golden Grove are going to keep it there through, I reckon that's got to be Blades. It is.
Good transition there by Golden Grove. Just couldn't finish it on that last little chip inside 50. Great spoil by the Brighton defender. Just got an arm in late.
Lovely hand pass from Horskins to Tomney, who's been great on debut. An indication of the depth Golden Grove have. And Golden Grove have had, I'm not sure what your inside 50 count is this quarter, not that that's had any bearing on the scoreboard, but Golden Grove have had their share.
Oh, they've had their share. They've had 10 to Brighton's 12.
Wow.
And Brighton have had 6 of the last 7 prior to this, though. And they're going to clear again.
Players just extrapolating themselves. Loy and Cavallaro.
No risks here from Brighton. They won't look to switch the footy. They'll look to get numbers up the line, get a contest and a crumb.
They'll kick it in the direction of, it spills nicely to Perry. Through some quick hands, Rivers. Well, he couldn't quite get possession, but he did enough to keep it away from Golden Grove, and Perry will get another kick. An interesting fly. And Golden...
Oh, he's paid as Shepherd.
Interesting.
Not sure I agree with that, but not a lot of remonstration from the Golden Grove player.
Well, he's got to stand the mark, does Payne, who give that away. And thankfully no damage yet for Golden Grove. Kookaburra's marked in the centre half back.
If Tarka's jumping early, what's the Golden Grove player supposed to do?
Yeah, it's about...
Not being critical of the umpires, but not sure what he's supposed to do.
Pittman, another touch. He's had plenty of those this afternoon. The pickup will come to Horskins. And that was a little bit too easy for Evans. And that is three-quarter time. If you're a Bomber fan here, you better be on your feet and cheering, because that was a mighty effort from Brighton. They kicked in that quarter, 4 goals, 1, and Golden Grove kicked 3 behinds. What was a 15-point Golden Grove lead is now a 7-point Brighton lead heading into the final change. The goal scorers, Golden Grove, same as half-time, 2 to Tomley, 1 to Glenn, Shenton and Banwell. For Brighton, well, Will Rivers with 4 of the 7. Singles to Ricky O'Loughlin, John Cock, Draper and Harvey. With Adam Jeffries, Phil Hurd, and we'll take a break. Big final quarter coming up. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back. What a third quarter by the Brighton Bombers, kicking 4 unanswered goals the last 5 of this game. They'll head for home 7 points in front. There's the underdogs against the Kookaburras. I reckon there's Luke Barmby there under the cap, imploring a little bit more action on the scoreboard. You can see the club rooms there and the Filming Footy crew. Some scores around the grounds. Now we actually have the early game at the moment. 24 minutes into the third quarter at Caterer Oval, where it is, Spock have got back into the contest. That margin now 14 points. Shock 9-5-59, St. Peter's Old Collegian 7-3-45. Tea Tree Gully were the other winless team, and they're doing all right. They lead by 30 points late in their third quarter, 11-11-77 to 7-5-47, Payne and Nord Union. We'll give you some sort of a ladder, won't have percentages on it at the end of the game this afternoon, but as you'd expect, 3 rounds in with what does that leave you? 4 possible records without draws, 3-0, 2-1, 1-2 and zip 3. There'll be a logjam there somewhere. What would you be saying right now? Oh, there's Luke Barmby, my apologies. What would you be saying right now if you're the Luke, Coach Barmby?
If I'm Golden Grove, I'm certainly not panicking. We can kick 5 goals in a quarter very easily. They just haven't taken their chances throughout the day. Brighton, for mine, have cut off a lot of their attacking forays because Golden Grove want to be attacking with their ball movement and they take those passes through the corridor, and Brighton have turned them over. So I'm not panicking here. I'm telling my players we're 7 points down and we haven't played anywhere near our capability. We just need to string some plays together inside 50. So if I'm Golden Grove, this is a great test for them. Like I said, coming into Division 1, everyone thought they'd be a top 3 team. They've got such a great list. This is what Div 1 games are all about. Teams are well structured, well organised. You can't just do what you want to do. I mentioned pre-match that Brighton have improved defensively. They only conceded 10 goals to Glenunga and 10 goals to Prince Alfred, who typically are a higher scoring teams than that. So I've been impressed with that. And today they found a forward in Will Rivers who can put a score on the board. So I'm looking forward to this last quarter, Phil. I want to see what Golden Grove have got. Can Brighton hang on and show that medal? They deserve the position they're in, but this game is far from over. Golden Grove can kick 4 or 5 easily in this last quarter.
And they're down a player as well, Golden Grove, and with only 3 on the bench, that does have an effect the longer the game goes, and they've been down a player for the entirety of the second half.
So Golden Grove will come. They'll score some goals this quarter. They're not going to go the rest of the way without doing it. I think that Brighton need to keep the scoreboard ticking over, and we'll see who's well organised when it gets late. I'd gut feel we're in for a close one, under a goal either way here, Phil. Let's see what happens.
Northern End feels like it's been where most of the action is. Not sure if you managed to do that count for me of what's been north, what's been south. And that's the end that Golden Grove are kicking to. It was an interesting one that they went to the right of screen in the first quarter, even though what breeze there is feels like it's to the left. And as you said, it is slight downhill. Nowhere near the angle of Harper's Field. So what's your gut feel how this final quarter is going to turn out?
I think Golden Grove are going to come hard. I think they're going to get some passages of play together. Some of their prime movers, I'm looking for Josh Glenn in particular. Haven't seen much of him throughout the second and third quarter, so they need those players to get involved.
We're set to rock and roll. Final quarter. Draper in the ruck. Lachlan Johncock with a kick looking for the other big man in Dixon, who was out on the wing. That's an interesting decision. Well, at least he'll be ready to go for the first stoppage.
Yeah, that was a weird decision. I'm not sure Dixon was ready for the centre bounce there, Phil.
Possibly. Well, Draper's got Dixon third man up. That's a pretty good third man. His thump has skedaddled a couple of players. As expected, a pretty hard footy to get at the moment.
This is a week we're missing our Brandrew rider. I haven't seen Josh Glenn in a while, so I'm just thinking that he may be injured as well, Phil, so that could be a big injury as well.
If he's injured as well, then they're down to 1 on the bench, but we can't see the bench. He's picked up by Blades, doesn't go on far, and eventually one of the tackles produces a result.
Red hot call, that one.
Perry the unlucky bomber, Josh Doby the winner for Golden Grove. Not sure if that went 15. Umpire who sort of had probably a depth perception problem looking right down the line at it.
So this is the benefit
of the doubt.
Sorry to interrupt you, Phil. This is the position they don't want to go up the line, and they took the corridor they have on this occasion.
Yeah, it's we're not quite at that stage of needing to be bold to win this game. You can still, I guess, play the percentages.
They took the bold options in the third quarter, Golden Grove, looking to get through, and it didn't work. We'll just keep an eye on the interchange bench if we can, Phil. I don't think we'll get many rotations from Golden Grove in this last quarter.
Lachlan Johncock's kick around the body. Shanton, good tap down. Straight to a teammate. Johnson under pressure. Under that pressure, turnover. Now, just trying to get loose, and both teams are backing themselves to try and break away from their opponents, but it's a bit of turnover city at the moment, and Chris Broadbent has marked that defensive 50 in the... What pocket would that be?
Just bopping between the arcs at the moment, Phil. No entries so far.
Yeah. Big go. Seen a few Speckies attempted. No rain today for that kick. Josh Doby, well, it came down to Will Rivers. His kick was smothered. A lot of 1%ers at the moment.
Otis Carthy very sore after that hanger attempt, but he's okay in taking his position back inside the forward 50.
Have to go and have another massage after that one, you reckon? Have a couple more sore spots. Kick partially smothered, won't be a mark, although Johnson is... That was interesting. Decided to walk it over.
It's respect for his opponent, Seagal there. Johnson, he knows he's not going to get around him. He'd rather have a stoppage than turn the ball over.
That's a fascinating matchup in the final quarter. Two players.
Wondering if Coach Backo has sent Seagal to Johnston to try and quell his influence. Because he's definitely not...
Tomley's down. Thankfully back up again. Banwell tackled at the 50-yard. It's been a pretty frantic 3 minutes. But I don't think we've had an inside 50 yet, have we?
We will here.
It will be Golden Groves. You'd hope they'll sort it out. It won't be a 25. To Johnson. Puts it right up to the hot spot where they fly. There's a push. It's a Brighton free.
Brighton free. Seagull, again, been a bit of a brick wall at times today, hasn't he?
He has. No mark paid on that occasion, but as good as.
Might be keen on a beanie, Seagull. But they've had plenty of good players today, Brighton.
Yeah. Yes, I had the feeling if we had our normal awards, which we all gave away on Anzac Day, that a few of those would be in the running. In a fascinating round of football in the Adelaide Footy League, Glenunga, big statement. Broadview, big first win. Teachu Gully looked like a big first win. The Bombers, could they get first win? And St. Peter's, well, they're within range. Possibly every team could have a win in round 3, having had 4 teams winless at the end of round 2. But there's about half an hour before we work all of that out. Right now, Tomney.
It's been pretty good today, Tomney, hasn't he? He said he's on debut.
On debut?
Phil, yeah, he's had a lot of the ball at half forward. Been very dangerous. And he's very confident here with the 45 to 50 metre kick. Turns his back on the play, going back slowly. Good on him if he thinks he's got it covered.
We've seen a lot of these and none of them make the distance today. Taking his time. 5 minutes into the final quarter. Puts it high, let the breeze maybe do its work, and well, in a close game, what that does, it makes it a 1-goal game. Just having a brief, actually the behind is yet to be signalled.
Goal umpire in the middle of the field, but we are all sorted.
That is a behind. 5-12-42 Kookaburras, Bombers 7-6-48, the Hans Sportal scoreboard. Lots of kicks to contest this afternoon. And that was an interesting, you almost thought for a sec that Lachlan John Cott was going to be slung to the turf. And that was pretty well done by the Kookaburra
5 years
defender.
ago, you would have dumped that player into the ground. Wouldn't
hard.
You? Yeah,
Josh Dobie.
Changed for the better,
the tackler,
I reckon.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, everyone's got to live their life tomorrow. Go to work, have family things. John Cox inboard kick.
Great tackle.
This time it's Thatcher with a strong tackle. So Golden Grove's tackling, I mean, there's been a lot of tackles today. The Dartfish stats, the Dartfish footy stats, you'll get a breakdown of this game and the Anzac Day game, I believe, between the posts Monday night. I reckon the tackle stats will be high today. There's another one. The trouble with the tackle stats is we've seen a lot of doubling up. So what do? Do you give half a tackle? They do that in America. In the NFL, if you get a sack of the quarterback and 2 players get there at the same time, you get half a sack.
Okay.
Because, you know, bonus contracts are on the line.
Yeah, fair
Here
call.
it's just a footy game. Here's Tumby. Oh, it was taken down. Was he taken down high? Umpire's got a decision to make holding the ball.
That is really good umpiring, Phil, because he's tried to win the high free kick by ducking into it.
Yep.
It's a great chase. Good umpiring, good tackling. A lot of pressure out here, Phil. It's going to be a close
On
finish.
everybody. It is a 6-point game. 1 straight kick from Golden Grove and it scores a level. But Brighton have it.
It's been good today, Justin Evans.
He has.
He's been really good. He's a good contested mark for his size, although that
I
kick...
think it's one of those games where a lot of players would probably come in and out a little bit, probably depending on what edge, and that's a little bit unfortunate, as Pittman will get a bonus 25, Draper the infringer. Johnson in the T-saucer to the scoreboard, but a good effort. I think that was, it wasn't Draper, it was Evans again. He got a mid on it.
Just dived on that, and we've got a crouching umpire.
Yeah.
That's the unlucky one. It's a great effort by Otis Carthy, but that is the one where you just jump on the football.
Yeah.
Dare I say it,
Sam
Draper style.
You can tap it out of bounds in this league.
Yes.
There's no deliberate in the Adelaide Footy League, or so I've been informed. And that's my Phantom 55, who will be the Phantom for the rest of the game. Inside 50. What have we gone? 8 minutes.
It's even that kick there, Phil. This is where I didn't think it would cost them much. Not having Pascoe as that target and domino up forward has really hurt Golden Grove today. Not sure of the length of his injury, but they need him back. Because on these smaller ovals, there's going to be more contests, and they need players like him take the best defender so the other forwards can get involved.
Yeah, well, everyone goes up a notch, or have had to go up a notch on this occasion, getting a better defender than what they might have got otherwise. We've had a grand total of 1 point scored in the first 9 minutes of this final quarter. It's been enthralling football, do not get me wrong. Two teams battling for a win. Knowing that one final effort, and I think Slater was taken high, umpire's seen it. Every kick now matters.
He's had a few shots today and just missed. He's kicked the ball nicely and just been behind the post. They've peppered away here, 5 inside 50s to 1 to start this last quarter.
They've had, as I said, 1 inside 50 to Brighton. This to tie the ball game. About 40 out. Right down King William Street. And Slater has split the centre. And boy, oh boy, are we in for an exciting finish. 3 options on the cards. Bombers could win, Golden Grove could win, or heaven to Betsy, we could have a draw.
Yeah, it was going to come eventually, wasn't it? The straight kick, Golden Grove have peppered away. The intensity, and hopefully it's coming through on your screen, because the intensity here at the ground, the tackling, the smothering, the pressure on every disposal is there. Now Brighton need to respond. I said they needed to kick 2 or 3 goals in this last quarter. They weren't going to hang on forever. Golden Grove will score. Big centre bounce here.
48 apiece, 10 minutes gone. It's a 20-minute plus time on, and we've had 1 goal kicked in the quarter thus far. Critical centre clearance, won by Brighton with Osborne. Harvey, who's dangerous if you give him a bit of space. He kicked one of the goals in the third quarter. But Pittman cleans up. A Phantom 55. Out to Shenton. Osborne overcommits on that occasion. Shenton's away. His inbound kick, they missed the target. Then 2 Kookaburras almost collide. Shenton's back in there. He's tackled.
Again, they go for that risky ball, don't they, Golden Grove? Some weeks it comes off and they get through, but again, Shenton didn't want to go up the line and take territory, wanted to cut back through the corridor. Really aggressive ball movement from Golden Grove.
Any score, goal or behind, will put you in front. Pittman tackled fairly, no prior opportunity. We go again. Next week, Golden Grove are at home. They'll face Broadview, fresh from their first win. Brighton. Well, it's the Battle of Brighton Road. Going to play Sacred Heart Old Collegians. Remembering, of course, the Bombers are part of the Brighton High School Old Scholars organisation. Except it's not going to be at Summerton Park. It's going to be at the middle school against Sacred Heart.
Not as fun there.
Not as fun there, no. We haven't commentated there, and I'm not sure we really want to.
No disrespect to the middle school, but the facilities at Sacred Heart College are pretty good,
senior
aren't they?
school is, I mean, I went down to the change rooms and, gee, there's something else. But anyway, back to this one. It is Templeton with a high kick. It's interesting the way Templeton's played up the ground. He's got a lot of touches, but I would have thought he's sort of like the forward target that Golden Grove would be looking for in Pascoe's absence. Brighton have it with Ty Murphy. Otis Carthy.
He's played more at half forward in the second half, Carthy, and looked pretty dangerous.
Yeah. Looks like the massage has done him some good. Out of bounds. Keeping an eye on that clock, 12 and a half minutes gone. So you can tell all the players have really dug deep for this final quarter.
Haven't seen Golden Grove use an interchange at all, so they may be 3 players downfield. Need to keep an eye on that.
I think because it's out of our view, we're not seeing any. It might just because they don't have any that we're not seeing any. Because Glenn is not out there. Glenn cannot be that quiet for that long.
No, Glenn is not
Harvey
out there.
had it. Plenty was caught a little bit unawares, but recovered beautifully to kick the goal. Golden Grove's defence couldn't quite get back quickly enough to cover everybody. And Brighton retake the lead.
He's a lethal left foot. Plenty surprised that he would play on from a mark in that position. But yeah, Golden Grove, a little bit of sleep there. Probably thought he would take the set shot. Great response by Brighton.
Harvey's been an important link man in the second half. With a goal himself. Would have to have got the goal assist on that occasion. So, 8-6-54, 6-12-48. Golden Grove 4 more scoring shots. If they do go down, they'll rue the third quarter. This one has been a pretty even affair with 1 goal each. We're pretty much back to where we were at three-quarter time. Here comes Slater, the goal scorer. Straight to Evans. Evans to Chalmers.
Been very good today, Justin Evans. Very good defender for Brighton. Many intercepts, many disposals. Strong-bodied player.
Now it's Bennett. And Dobie with the thump from behind. What you say, that was Templeton. Crowd in anticipation now. We've got 5 minutes before time on. Oh, in came Josh Ingram just as Curtis Perry was about to send the Bombers forward.
That was a very important tackle. There's been a lot of them in this last quarter, but if Perry gets that ball in deep, Golden Grove are under pressure again.
To Shenton, they're working it around. They've got some space and time here. Long kick downfield, but it's a Bombers player in Higgins who had position. Didn't take the mark though. Kookaburras recover the best, and that's a big turnover. Look at this is Slater again. Well, he tied it last time. He's going for the tie again.
Just carried the pack in front of him. Did well. Sometimes when you're a forward and that happens and the pack's coming back, did well to keep his eyes on the ball, take the chest mark.
It is deja vu all over again.
It's through.
The kick, just as good. Same result. And we're all tied up once again. Second goal for the quarter, second for the game.
Is it just me, Phil, or are we going to have a barnstorming finish here? This is going to go down to the wire, isn't it? It's goal for goal now.
It's been a barnstorming quarter.
There's a lot of pressure around the ball. There's a lot of desperate players. And now it's those little things. It's finishing in front of goal. Again, Brighton are going to need to respond. Big centre bounce here. Try and get some field position. Put the opposition under pressure. It was the tackle at half-back that set that one up as well, Phil. It was a big tackle at the stoppage in front of us.
2 goals to Golden Grove, 1 to Brighton. A 3-goal quarter. This time Ingram is the one who goes to ground. Ball does spill free. 16.5 gone. Dixon the thump only as far as Blades. Got Shenton in some space. He'll go back. The kick under pressure, really just up and down. Dixon again got the hard ball. Osborne. So there's enough of this Mickey Mouse stuff. Goes with a longer kick, finds Chalmers. Just held on to. Brighton have got some numbers. Here's Harvey in space. If it sits, what a chase down by Mitchell Payne.
Maybe last touch.
Throw in.
Not sure why that's not last touch.
Okay. Was it touched by someone?
Nah, I thought the Golden Grove player kicked the ball out of bounds, accidentally off his shin.
Okay. Well, that counts as a kick.
When Coach Backwell goes over the video, he'll want Chalmers to be a little bit more composed there. He should have just gone back and chipped the ball to an uncontested mark.
Well, he had 2 players running free, but Golden Grove just slowed him up a bit. And normally you would back Harvey in a race, but not on that occasion. Fan in 55, but I think that was Finlay Bennett. Some turnovers again, centre wing. Oh, gee. Felt that one from here. Connor Dodd took one for the team. But Golden Grove are going forward. Slater again, he's been busy. So's the debutant. The run of Ingram missed the target. That would have been an open shot at goal if successful. Somehow, Tomney has got the ball back. Johnson, well, he had some calmness to things. Brings it back in board. Here's the man with the big tackle, Payne. Now with a big kick inside 50. Mitchell Payne has had a purple patch with some possible game-deciding plays in the second part. And I got no idea who this kid is, but he's kicking for the lead.
Yeah, it was a ball bobbling around in the centre of the ground. It could go anywhere. Johnston with a great handball, someone that could face forward and kick to advantage inside 50. Big shot for goal. Feels not going to be many more kicks at goal in this match.
Time on is a minute away. 3 goals kicked. Any score puts the Kookaburras in front. It's coming back, but no. 1 point is the difference. There's been some famous points in this footy history. But it does put pressure on Brighton. They have to score again, and that is not going to help. That sometimes you miss your target by a little bit. That's one of my goal shot shanks.
Yeah, we talked about composure going inside 50. You still need composure coming out as well. Just needed a long kick to the numbers on the wing. Didn't need to create anything there. Brighton need to defend now.
If Golden Grove will win, give 55 the beanie, and then you can ask them, who are you? To the hot spot. 25 out. Great hand pass out. Slater, the kick around the body. I'll tell you what, it's hit the post.
Call's right, Phil. Slater's been very dangerous this quarter, hasn't he?
He has.
He had a little bit of the ball early, but he's bobbed up late, kicked 2, almost kicked a 3rd, and a potential match winner.
He's been the forward target, and that occasion the running. Oh, the error. Johnson, can he make Higgins pay? Brings it back in board. Gee, that was almost catastrophic for Brighton. They're not out of the woods just yet. The high kick. Big thump from behind. Another big thump. Brighton momentarily have it. Pittman is lurking. He's waiting at the back, and that's Cam Shenton taking a great grab. So right now, Brighton are struggling to get it outside of defensive 50.
These are the growing pains for a young team, Phil. They're on the kick-outs. They've tried twice and just haven't been able to execute a basic 50-metre kick up to the wing, which is what they desperately needed to their tall forwards. So it's easy in the commentary box, isn't it? There's a lot of pressure out there, but experienced players.
It's so easy in the commentary box. Anyone could do it.
Experienced players don't make those errors, though, do they? So plenty of good coaching tools for Backwell during the week.
That's 2. So 2-point lead. Shenton from a step inside the arc. It's across the face and another behind. So that probably takes the draw out of the equation.
Is it almost time for the famous Brighton line out? Yep. I think they're going the barrel down the guts.
It worked last time.
There's not a lot of time left, and they need to score a goal. Golden Grove should be onto this, though. They don't need the wide players in the zone. They all need to get into the corridor themselves.
Here we go. That one.
Chaos ball.
Miskicked.
Chaos ball.
But Brighton are at the feet of it. They've finally gone forward of centre for the first time in a long time. Here's a chance because there's Chalmers on space, but instead it's going to be Draper. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That's a problem. The footy is on the netting. That's going to take forever to get down.
Again, a great set piece from the kick-out, Phil, wasn't it? Draper, I'm not sure if he didn't see Chalmers there or thought he'd go for the glory himself, but he had to give the handball to Chalmers.
Well, he had the space. He had the better angle.
Again, easy up here, not being critical, but yeah, had to give the handball to Chalmers there.
Right, so they've given up for the moment, getting that footy off the top of the cricket nets. A new one is here for Thatcher. So that'll add a little bit of time on to a 3-goal quarter and a few stoppages. 22 minutes gone, probably about 4-5 minutes left. And umpire has blown the free.
Not going to pay the 25.
Broadbent, well, I don't think Vanwell heard it to give him the benefit of the doubt. I didn't hear a whistle. Broadbent's kick. Oh, there's a fly. Gee, if you're going to fly, try and touch the footy. It doesn't get tighter than this, does it? Trailing by 3. Probably about 4 minutes left. It's inside your forward 50.
Only be a minute or 2 to go here, Phil. So what's he paid the umpire?
Free kick,
He's
Bombers.
paid a free kick to Brighton in the ruck contest.
Parker was trying to dash away. Whether he would have broken free and had the shot, we will never know.
Now, Dixon traditionally isn't a guy that can kick a 50-metre set shot
look
goal.
Look for the player to take the hand pass. Right here. Jack Plenty. Bennett has to get out the way. Plenty to the top of the square. Needs a clunk. There's so many players around the ball. The ball spills free. As Lachlan Johncock lays the tackle. Spills to Osborne from the boundary. And as that marked over the line, we have no arc.
The goal umpire has paid that mark. He said it was in front of the line.
Will Rivers.
He's been the hero today.
There'd be no better Brighton player you'd want it in the hands of. The umpires are conferring. The boundary umpire.
If the goal umpire says it's a mark, it's a mark. You cannot overturn it.
Goal umpire had the view. Boundary umpire might have been able to contribute. This, at the 23.5-minute mark, could be for the match. Rivers spins around and dobs it! The Bombers back in front! If Brighton get up with that kick, I reckon Rivers has got a lock on the beanie.
If a Golden Grove player kicks a goal, he might rob it off him, but he's been tremendous today, Will Rivers. 5 goals in a low-scoring game, and the clutch one there. There's still a minute or so to go here, Phil. There's no 6-6 rule in Adelaide Football League, so Brighton can flood back. But this is where you've got to be careful. You can't send everybody back because you don't want to turn the ball over to Golden Grove.
They'll get the clearance.
You don't want the ball to be camped in Golden Grove's end.
You've got to keep it more than 2 kicks away from goal, because if they get 1 kick, then it's a possible mark or free.
So you might look at a +1 or a +2.
From what I can see, everybody at the moment has an opponent. And it's a stoppage inside the T-Saw. So 25 minutes gone. The pressure is on in all places. It is a 3-point Brighton lead. Hope you're enjoying this one on Filming Footy. Broadbent. Okay. 1:30 left, we believe. Golden Grove trying to go forward. Need a good bounce. Need a tackle, which they've got. Here comes Cam Shenton. The defender runs to 50. Looks up at home and across the face and has kicked it behind.
He's had a couple of shots at it, Shenton, hasn't he? But there's still over a minute to go.
Whoever loses will rue the opportunities missed in this final quarter.
Brighton must get some composure. I noticed their captain's gone to take the kick out here, Phil, which is smart play after what happened on the last two.
Their last 2 clearances have not been good. Well, yeah, looking for Slater. Well, Slater got in position. Desperate fight for the footy. Soccer it off the ground. Do whatever it takes.
There's a Brighton player not moving on the ground behind here as well.
Bomber down at the moment.
So we might have a stoppage and play here potentially. He has not moved.
Josh Dobie.
It's an awkward time
trying to get the umpire's attention, and the umpire's attention has been got.
Smart play.
They will stop.
There should be time on called here as well, but he's very groggy. And Brighton needed that stretcher to come out, Phil, because they don't want to be 17 men against 18 here. It's 40 seconds to go, we've just heard. It's Nigel Osborne down, and I think he's got a little bit of a concussion here.
Takes a lot for Osborne to stay down.
Yeah, he was a bit wobbly trying to get up.
He's going to try again.
He's very wobbly, which is sad to see. He's been a great player today. But what this does is it allows Brighton to get that 18th man on the field, Phil, so they needed the stoppage there.
That 18th man being Sam Venning, ready to come on from the bench. Just checking it with the umpire. It's okay for him to come on.
See, this is where Brett Backwell would have had a chance to send the runner out here. You want to try and get...
You have to wait.
You want to try and get a +1 behind the football field if you can, but you can't leave free players up the field either. So it's a real balancing act. And for mine, I'm manning up on Shenton and I'm manning up on Johnston. Shenton's the one that's drifted forward and had 2 shots. Yeah. I'm putting someone on him right now.
Yep. Every Kookaburra has an opponent. 40 seconds left. Every player in front of Ingram. 2-on-1 contest, Bombers, but at the front of the pack was Dodd. His hand pass. Brighton, an inside 50.
They're away here.
Well, just hold it up. If Golden Grove don't touch the footy, they can't win.
He's got Rivers.
And this is the sealer. Bombers are going to win. Every Bomber fan says Take your time. He kicked the really critical one from the other pocket, the Stevie J way. Siren's gone, Bombers win. Rivers, what a star for 5, going for 6. And he misses. Inconsequential. What a win for Brighton. What a second half. And look, kudos to Golden Grove as well, because pretty sure they did that with no bench. And that can be absolutely critical. Hope you enjoyed that contest. Adam Jeffries has gone down. We're going to have one post-game award. We'll bring that to you shortly. But the final score on our Hahn Sportal scoreboard. Good kicking. Most often is winning football. Brighton 9-7-61. They have that first win. And Golden Grove 7-16-58. Well, everyone in a close game, you always rue what could have been. Going to have a look at what's happening elsewhere. Uh, 23 minutes gone. Spock are up by 16 points, so that could leave, if that margin holds. Shock 11-7-73, Spock 9-3-57. Could leave St. Peter's as the sole winless side. That, of course, all depends what's happening out at Payneham. As I said, we've got the early finish. Payneham, who had the huge finish against Golden Grove. Teachwick looking pretty good. 23-minute mark. Teachwick Gully 13-16-94, Payneham 9-9-63. A 31-point lead. It's in Gully's inside 50 at the moment with about 5 minutes to go. You think the Gullies will get their first win. So, round 3. A real one for the underdogs. Broadview. Not sure who was underdogs, Port District and Glenunga. Brighton today. Teachwick. The only game that has probably gone totally to script is Shock over St. Peter's, but St. Peter's have made a game of it at times. Let's go down to Adam Jeffries.
Go. Hopefully you can hear us. A bit going on. The Brighton boys are pretty happy, as they should be. I'm here with the hero, Will Rivers, who kicked 5, but the real disappointment in is everyone's pretty flat as he didn't kick his 6 after the siren there. But Will, how you feeling, mate? That was a real tough game of footy.
Yeah, it was obviously just good to get the win, really. Like, we'd had a couple of close matches. I've just got my daughter here. A couple of close matches, and we sort of turned the ball over a bit in the first 2 weeks and hurt ourselves, and we probably thought we deserved to win last week, so it's good to get one on the board.
So, be honest, you've come back into the league. Do you think you can win the A-grade leading goal kicker in the league this year?
There's probably some better forwards than me. It was just nice to kick straight today. I'd been struggling a bit the first 2 weeks, so did a bit of work during the week, and it paid off today.
No, well done, Will. Last question. Did all the good things you do, were they learnt at Padthaway in the last 2 years?
No, they just teach you bad habits out there, I think. Boys there, but no, they're good lads out there, and I enjoyed my time.
I'm sure Brighton are happy to have you back. Hero today, 5. Missed his 6 on the siren in a low-scoring game. Will Rivers, our best on ground. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Back to you in the com box.
It's bring your daughter to work day. All of that. And that's what Adelaide Footy League is, family. And the photo will have daughter encased. Fantastic to see. Those other 2 games are still progressing, but the results are not in doubt. As we see some highlights, and we had some crackers today. This is Banwell. Early in the piece, I reckon that was first quarter with the first major of the day. Happy team with Brighton, and with all going to plan, we'll get you their song as well, Bomber fans, so make sure you stick around for that. Hopefully in a minute we'll get that crazy goal that Golden Grove kicked. It looked pretty good for Golden Grove early. They had the early lead by a considerable way, 17 points at the first break. It was 14 at the second. A 4-0 third quarter to Brighton. And in that final quarter, Brighton kicked 2 goals, 1, and Golden Grove kicked 2 goals 5. So in the end, after half time, Golden Grove kicked 2 goals 8. And that's probably what they'll think about on what is going to be a pretty long drive home. Adam Jeffries is back. Well, don't you climb those stairs in a much faster time than I would have. Looks like we've only got one winless team in the league now.
Yeah, well, so Teacher Gully got up as well.
Well, they're still going, but they're in a unbeatable position unless they put 19 players on the field, and we know that doesn't happen.
No, that's not going to happen.
And it is over. Teacher Gully do have their first win. Congrats to them. Spock not too far. Shock not too far. Yep, Shock have got up as well.
Yeah, so back to this game, Phil. Not sure what you've reported on. Fantastic win for Brighton. They deserve it. I thought they started the game really well. They didn't score, and we've made mention about how well they play, and they just never seem to be able to put a score on the board. For mine this year, they've tightened up their defence behind the football with Segal and Evans. So they're a hard team to play against, and if they can find a few weeks where they can just put 10, 12 goals on the board today, and they only needed 9 to get the job done, and Will Rivers, certainly a deserved best on ground. 5 goals from your full forward in what was a low-scoring game. Could have kicked 6 on the siren, but he didn't care. He said he was going to boot it out on the full once the siren went. But I would have kicked it. Nice to have 6 in the paper. But he was fantastic today, Rivers, and a clutch goal. That mark. Bit of controversy maybe, but I was watching that, Phil, with the mark. The goal umpire was certain. He said you've marked it, and they conferred. But if the goal umpire is certain, back them in. Yep. And they did that.
I mean, at the end of the day, technology is making our umpires less certain of things.
Yeah, agreed.
And at this level, you see something, you make the call. Are you going to get it right every time? No, you're not. But there's no player out there that's perfect. We had a team kick 7 behinds today. That's 7 missed shots. We had a team kick 16 behinds. That's 16 missed shots.
I've always thought that with umpires' criticism. So the perception from the public is that umpires should be perfect, but players don't have to be. Yeah. It's a weird thing, isn't it?
I mean, admittedly, the umpire's not about to get tackled.
No.
But it's still that live, on-the-moment decision. Goal umpire made a clear call.
Football's the hardest game in the umpire. You've got 36 players in a 360-degree angle all around you.
There's a good grab taken by Segal. I mean, had Brighton got up, well, Brighton did get up, but what am I talking about? Segal, on another day, with a bigger treasure trove, might have taken something away, I reckon, today.
I was impressed with O'Loughlin Johncock as well today, the hyphen. I thought he was a really good player all around the ground. Osborne, hopefully he's up and about so he can sing the song with his teammates. And there were a few injuries today. Josh Glenn was limping after the game. We didn't see him after half-time. We had the nasty arm injury and an ambulance in the second quarter as well, Phil. So there's a few casualties today. It was always going to happen in a tough, tight game. So hopefully those players aren't too badly injured and can get back on the park soon.
Alrighty. So the results of round 3, Port District over Glenunga on Anzac Day. Broadview first win over Prince Alfred on Anzac Day today. Teacher Gully got their first win over Payneham. Sacred Heart still unbeaten, kept St Peter's the sole winless side, and here Brighton got their first win in a cracker over Golden Grove. The ladder, as it stands now, early days, we have 2 unbeaten sides, Glenunga and Sacred Heart. We have 2 teams at 2-1, Port District and Prince Alfred. We have a logjam of 4 teams with 1 and 2. Golden Grove, Broadview, Tea Tree Gully, Payneham Norwood Union and the Bombers, and Spock at 3. Games next week, Golden Grove and Broadview, both 1 and 2.
That's a good game now as well, isn't it?
Mentioned the Battle of Brighton Road to be played at the middle school, Sacred Heart and Brighton. Tea Tree Gully and Glenunga up at Pertaringa, Prince Alfred and Port District, and we'll be at Payneham on the Falcons balcony for Payneham Norwood Union and St Peter's, who will be as desperate as Brighton were today to get that first win.
Love calling it Payneham. We'll have the spectators giving us plenty of advice.
They'll be walking up and back behind us, tripping over our court. We'll be right in the thick of it. Can't wait for that.
I know I've said it a few times. A big round next round, isn't it? There's a few teams 1 and 2 that you don't want to go 1 and 3, Phil. And
it's probably one of the bigger gaps. 2 and 2, you're in the mix. 1 and 3, suddenly you've got to get a few to get back to level playing field. Our sponsors, Archie's Footwear, Belgraver Apparel, New Balance, Nearmouth Mouthguards, Hahn and Sport, all keeping that scoreboard ticking over Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic. They didn't get a lot of interchanges for Golden Grove. Roll the Dice Racing, you got some voting to
Yes.
sort out. Farmers Leap Winery, Police Credit Union, Dartfish, and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Plenty of news. Tomorrow the weekend wraps, all the men's and women's results from the Anzac Day round. And between the posts Monday evening, including Tommy Javore's extensive Div 1 report and a huge breakdown of the Dartfish stats. So Adam, great to have you on board. Great you brought the fam along. I thought that was fantastic. Father and daughter day at the post-game presentations. Well balanced. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, got through okay. Thanks for your help there, Phil. We've got my 4-year-old daughter here trying to be co-commentator today. And great for Will Rivers. That's a great moment for him to be interviewed and with his daughter after the game too. Absolutely. And he thoroughly deserved that. Great game of footy. Happy for Brighton. They deserve the win. Golden Grove, big game for them next week.
Alrighty. Thank you, Adam. Thanks also to Hugo, producer. We've got James giving us the great ground vision. Elias from upstairs, of course our boss John Douglas, Tony Neil Road, and all the ever-expanding filming footy family. And for head and saying thanks for joining us here in Brighton Road. We're in a fantastic contest. The Bombers got up by 3 points. We'll be back next Saturday when the Falcons host Spock. Until then, you've been watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy. We'll leave you with the song.